Pinto, along with my co-host, Ms. Aditi Achrekar, are truly honored to welcome you all those present online and offline, to the 20th Annual International Research Conference of Pathh 2025 in collaboration with Mumbai University. The only way to make sense out of change is to plunge into it, move with it, and join the dance. This quote said by Alan Watts truly resonates with the spirit of our conference today. In a world shaped by continuous change, the capacity to adapt, bounce back, and innovate has become essential. On that note, it gives me immense pleasure to unveil this year's theme, that is, resilience and transformation in the dynamic business environment. And our theme for the day, as we explore how businesses are not just overcoming challenges, but transforming them into opportunities for growth and innovation.
St. Francis Institute of Management and Research, as an institution, upholds a cherished tradition to begin every significant occasion by invoking the blessings of the Almighty. I now request everyone to kindly rise for the institutional anthem.
Make me an instrument of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me bring love. Where there is injury, your pardon, Lord. And where there's doubt, true faith in you. Make me an instrument of your peace. Where there's discouragement, let me bring hope. Where there is darkness, let me bring your light. And where there's sadness, let me bring joy. Make me an instrument of your peace. It is in pardoning that we are pardoned. It is in giving that we do receive. And it's in dying that we're born to life.
Kindly be seated.
Fire is a sacred symbol of light and purity. As its flame dispels darkness, knowledge too dispels the shadows of ignorance, guiding us towards truth and understanding. We will now have the virtual lighting of the lamp.
Allow me to take you through SFIMAR's Hall of Fame with a video thoughtfully curated by our students. It offers a vibrant glimpse into many dynamic events and initiatives that defines life at St. Francis Institute of Management and Research and St. Francis Institute of Management and Research, PGDM. I kindly request everyone to turn their attention to the screens. What a what a wonderful video. That was certainly a good refresher to our memories.
Now, let us take a moment to honor the roots and celebrate the growth of Pathh, a journey that has unfolded beautifully over the years. Kindly direct your gaze to the screen as we walk you through its never ending journey. has truly been an inspiring journey of vision, commitment, and excellence.
It is with great honor that we welcome Reverend Brother Alphonse Nessamini, a dedicated and inspirational leader and the chairman of St. Francis Institute of Management and Research and St. Francis Institute of Management and Research, PGDM. Reverend Brother is also the Assistant Superior General of the Congregation of the Franciscan Brothers and has played a pivotal role in the advancement of the congregation's educational institutes across India, especially as a chairman at SFIMAR and SFIMAR PGTM. With over 27 years of distinguished service in education, both nationally and internationally, Brother continues to be a guiding light. At SFIMAR, Chairman Brother is actively involved as a mentor and guide in all the constructive activities involving faculty, staff, and students. The recent achievement of St. Francis Institute of Management and Research attaining autonomous status stands at yet another proud milestone under his visionary leadership and relentless pursuit of excellence. I now request our respected brother to deliver the welcome address.
Good morning to everyone. On this auspicious day of 20th International Research Conference, Pathh 2025, we the management, faculty, staff members, and students at St. Francis Institute of Management and Research welcome all of you to the conference venue at Borivali campus, Mumbai. The core theme of 20th International Conference is resilience and transformation in the dynamic business environment. God has blessed us with so many good people who are present here with us. I have the honor and privilege of welcoming all our dignitaries, research authors, and the audience. A cordial and warm welcome to all of you. A warm welcome to our respected Professor Dr. Y. Ramakrishna Yanamendra, School of Business, Skyline University of Sharjah, our chief guest and keynote speaker for the conference. Professor Dr. A. Sanmukham Anamala, SEGI University, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, Rockwise Chairperson of the conference, Dr. Sriram, Associate Professor of Bharatidasan Institute of Management, Trichy, Tamil Nadu, and CMA Professor Dr. Kinnari Thakkar, University of Mumbai, governing board members, all our officials from St. Francis Institute of Management and Research, and our academic and industry partners, Dr. Salini Sinha, Director of St. Francis Institute of Management and Research, along with all the conference committee members and coordinators, Dr. Tangavel, Dr. Sandeep Putetkar, ably supported by Dr. Sulba Ravarane and Professor Dr. G. Ramesh, Deputy Director, Registrar, faculty and non-teaching staff of St. Francis Institute of Management and Research, Research Development Committee members, NEP, IQAC, and ISO Implementation Committee members, and faculty research authors representing various higher and technical institutions. St. Francis Institute of Management and Research Autonomous is a NAAC-accredited institute with the A+ grade in the second cycle of accreditation. Master of Management of Studies, MBA, is accredited by NBA. SFIMAR provides undergraduate and postgraduate educational services. The institute has a PhD center recognized by Mumbai University Right from the inception of our institute, research ecosystem is evolving in our B school through the consistent effort of management and its faculty members. We have equipped with all the requirements to promote a research culture. Our faculty members consistently publish research papers in reputed journals and in our in-house peer-reviewed journal, that is SFIMAR Research Review. Our students publish their scholarly papers in a publication organ called Spandan. Today's event is organized by St. Francis Institute of Management and Research, SFIMAR, and St. Francis Institute of Management and Research, PGDM, in collaboration with the University of Mumbai. The conference proceedings will be published by JJ Publications, Chennai. Today, we dedicate our conference to our holy patron, Saint Francis of Assisi, our institute's patron saint. Saint Francis is also well known as a universal patron of ecology. Our research conference Pathh chief patron is Dr. Brother Joseph Karimalayil, board president. Other patron members are Brother T.B. George, registrar of SFIMAR PGDM, Brother Vitus George, administrative officer, SFIMAR PGDM, and Brother Albin Tete, registrar of St. Francis Institute of Management and Research. We are also indebted to extend our warm welcome and thanks to our event conveners, Dr. Monali Sarma, Dr. Kiran Karande, Dr. Minal Parekh, Dr. Anand Upadhyaya, Professor Sujata Salvi, Mr. Abhishek Bargulekar, Mr. Praveen Kot, Ms. Chaya Salian, Ms. Bharati Boshle, Ms. Sureka Kurne, and Ms. Sonal Talvi. Our thanks to all of you for your very presence and continuous support. A hearty welcome to Dr. Sampath Pillai, Administrative Officer, Mr. Anthony Fernandez, and Mr. Prakash Lalwani, IT Head, who meticulously planned for all the infrastructure and logistics arrangement along with their team members. Once again, I extend my sincere welcome to all the research authors who will be presenting their research papers online mode in the presence of session chairs, dignitaries, and audience during this conference. All the best. May God bless you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend Brother.
One of the prominent minds at our institute, Professor Dr. Shalini Sinha, Director of St. Francis Institute of Management and Research, is a dynamic and passionate educationist with a remarkable journey spanning 3 decades in the Indian education sector. Her contributions span across institutional administration, teaching, curriculum development, and research, all marked by integrity and insight. Her calm presence and unwavering dedication continue to inspire the entire SFIMAR family. I now invite Dr. Shalini Sinha to share her insight on today's conference theme.
Thank you very much for the kind introduction. So, this is indeed an important occasion for our institute. Good morning, everyone. It is both an honor and a privilege to welcome you to Pathh 2025, the annual research conference of St. Francis Institute of Management and Research, organized in collaboration with SFIMAR PGDM and the University of Mumbai. This year's theme, Resilience and Transformation in the Dynamic Business Environment, could not be more timely and relevant. We are living in an era marked by volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. The global business landscape is continuously being shaped and often disrupted by technological advances, geopolitical shifts, sustainability imperatives, and evolving consumer behavior. In this context, resilience is no longer just about survival. It is about capacity to adapt, reimagine, and lead with purpose. Transformation, on the other hand, is not a one-time event. It is a mindset, a commitment to continuous learning, innovation, and ethical responsibility. The global business landscape is continuously being reshaped and often disrupted by a range of powerful forces. Technological advances such as the rapid integration of generative AI, automation, and blockchain are transforming everything from supply chains to customer service. Tools like ChatGPT, for instance, are revolutionizing how organizations interact with knowledge and creativity. Geopolitical shifts, on the other hand, including the ongoing implications of the Russia-Ukraine war, US-China trade tensions, and Middle East realignments, have created ripple effects on global supply chains, energy markets, and financial flows. Moreover, sustainability imperatives are now central to business strategy. Companies are under increasing pressure to align with ESG, that is, environmental, social, and governance standards. The global push towards net zero emissions, green energy, and circular economies is shaping investment and innovation landscapes. And last but not the least, evolving consumer behavior, especially in the post-pandemic era, shows a marked tilt towards digital-first engagement, ethical consumption, and personalized experiences. The rise of D2C, that is direct-to-consumer models, influencer-driven marketing, and purpose-led branding illustrates this transformation vividly. These forces don't just demand operational efficiency, they call for strategic agility, deep resilience, and a transformational mindset that enables institutions and leaders to thrive amid constant change. Through this conference today, we aim to explore how institutions, industries, and individuals are navigating these waves of change. The papers presented today, the voices that we will hear, ranging from the academia to industry, will enrich our understanding of how resilience and transformation converge to create sustainable value. We are indeed delighted to host eminent dignitaries today. Our chief guest, Dr. Y. Ramakrishnan Yanamendra, Program Chair and Professor, Skyline University College, Sharjah, UAE, and our guest of honor, Dr. Sanmugam Anamala, Professor, Graduate School of Business, ACGI University, Malaysia. Your presence adds immense value to our conference, and I take this opportunity to thank our respected chairman, Reverend Brother Alphonse Nizamani, for his constant support and his visionary leadership, and also to the Deputy Director, Dr. G. Ramesh, for providing his guidance to the organizing team. I once again thank the entire organizing team and welcome all the participants. Let this platform be a catalyst for new ideas and collaborative dialogues. We wish all the presenters and participants a fruitful and enriching conference. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am, for your beautiful introduction on the theme of the conference.
We are truly honored to have with us our chief guest, Dr. Ramakrishna Yanamandra, Professor and Program Chair of the BBA program at the Skyline University College, School of Business at Sharjah in United Arab Emirates. Dr. Ramakrishna holds a PhD in supply chain management and brings over 2 decades of experience in academia, research, and industry. He has worked in reputed business schools across India and the UAE, and also held a leadership role in operations within a prominent public sector enterprise in India. His expertise spans supply chain management, process improvement, lean and quality systems, and his academic contributions are reflected in numerous international publications conference presentations, and industry training programs. Honored with the Overall Academic Excellence Award at the Skyline University, Dr. Ramakrishna's work bridges the gap between strategic research and practical relevance, aligning perfectly with our theme of resilience and transformation in today's dynamic business landscape. Sir, we are delighted to welcome you to Pathh 2025. May we now invite you to deliver the chief guest and keynote address.
Very good morning. Good morning to all of you. Hope I'm audible to all of you. Thank you. Thank you so much for your kind words, dear students and the future young leaders. It was a pleasure to be the chief guest of this international conference, 20th International Conference, conducted based in Francis Institute, Mumbai. I personally thank Dr. Tangavel, I think he's the conference coordinator, and also Dr. Sandeep, who is one of my research partner in this journey of research of an academician. With your permission, I have a small PPT for your conference. Can I share that?
Sure, sir.
Sure. Thank you. Okay, I'm just looking for. Yeah, is that visible to all of you? Is that visible to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. Okay. I first of all let me thank all the team, the team of the conference, guided by Dr. Shalini, the director of the institute, and the management team and the board members and all the people who are instrumental in executing this international conference. I'm very happy to see that the topic is very relevant and highly apt to the present society and also the future generations. So I just made a couple of points which I thought would actually add value to this conference as a chief guest of this conference. First of all, again, my sincere thanks to all the members and all the team of the conference and the students who are actually instrumental in executing this conference by supporting this conference in a very, very decent manner. So with all these words, because the time given to me is 10 minutes, so I wouldn't want to actually to extend or disturb the schedule. I'm hopeful that these few words will be very useful to my dear young students who are the future leaders of the future global leaders, if I say them. Okay. Look at this. This is what is our university, the Skyline University College in University City of Sharjah, which is a city where all universities are located. So that's why it is called as University City of Sharjah. We all know Sharjah for the cricket matches, but Sharjah is also known for the heritage, culture, and it's a beautiful city, and it is one of the Emirates in the United Arab Emirates. So Dubai is our neighbor, Abu Dhabi is our neighbor, and all the 7 Emirates are part of the United Arab Emirates. So Sharjah and Dubai are just very, very close, like Hyderabad and Secunderabad or Mumbai and Thane. Okay, great. So with these few words, I just move on to the topic which I chose because you are all inviting me as a chief guest to the Management Institute. So the role of Management Institutes is going to be very instrumental or very, very, important for this resilience or transformation in a dynamic business environment. I think the fundamental step begins from the nurturing of these young leaders. So I took some examples. I took some challenges, which are global challenges currently. Some of them are rightly pointed out by Dr. Shalini. So the rapid technological advancements, whatever it is, whether it is the artificial intelligence or the robotics or whatever you call as the digital technologies, machine learning, or what is actually creating the future is all going to be the technology. It's already playing, but technology going to play a vital role in the next couple of years, and probably we all will become driven by a technology. So I was not surprised when somebody was telling, I think the Apple CEO, Mr. Tim Cook. He was telling the other day in one of the conferences that in future, all of us are going to have a chat GPT of personalized chat GPT. That means it's my own bot or it's my own assistant virtually, wherein I can customize it according to my requirements. I can use it as per my requirements. So I think these technological changes are very, very important to be noted. Geopolitical tensions were also mentioned by Dr. Shalini, thanks to that. And the climatic changes, the unprecedented changes which we are seeing, the imbalances in the climates and all that across the globe. And yeah, the ultimately, because you are all business students, consumer behavior, changing dynamics of consumer behavior actually is very, very important to understand how you can sustain your business in future. Gone are those days where consumers are actually having limited number of options, but then now consumers have innumerable number of options, both online, offline, physical, whatever way, whatever format it is. And then the business environment itself is changing very dynamically. It has been evolving. It is not for the first time that the business is changing, but we are all actually, uh, part of this business environment change, competitive business environment, very dynamic and highly competitive business environment where agility is taking place and fast and rapid technological advances are really uh, forcing the businesses to adapt to the new cultures and new environments. Say, for example, about a decade ago and pre-COVID and post-COVID era, we have seen a lot of changes. We have seen completely changed way of understanding the business, changed way of operating the businesses. So these are only few global challenges. Given the time for 10 minutes, I could list out some of them. Now, what is required? I mean, see, we all talk of MBAs, BBAs, PGDMs, or whatever university gold medals, rankings, etc. Great, but there is a role by the management institutions across the world to actually contribute to the entire global business environment as well as the global society to bring those people who are actually resilient in future. Okay, so I'm resilient means what? I'm resilient in a way. I'm as a person, I'm resilient, so I expect my society to be resilient, I expect my institute to be resilient, I expect my whole dynamics where I am actually living to be resilient. So I think there is a very important role from the management institutions. The first one is developing highly diversified and inclusive global culture. Today we are living in a world where globalization is just a fashion, or it's a part of our society. Okay, it's a part of our global society. There is nothing called you are different, I am different, all are equal here. So developing highly diversified and inclusive global culture is very important. And I wrote another point: industry plus society relevant curriculum. Yes, it is not enough if the curriculum is just industry driven, because all the B schools strive to develop industry oriented curriculum. But after all, that curriculum should also be useful to the society to make the students responsible citizens. The another very important component or dynamic of a PGDM institute or a postgraduate institute in management, or for that matter, any other institute, is the research of the faculty members should be futuristic. It should be part of your culture. It should be part of your research culture. The research culture of the organization should promote the faculty members to do these researches which are actually relevant to your international conference theme of resilience in a dynamic business environment. Another important point which I felt was developing knowledge, skills, and competencies, which I wrote them as KSCs, for a resilient business and society. Now, what the student knows about the resilience, how the management of the institute is promoting resilience within the institute, within the community in which they are located, and among the minds of the students, and developing a culture of resilience within the entire operating system where they are actually operating this institute. So that is very, very important. First of all, the knowledge about the resilience. I'm sure many of the young students may not be really aware of what exactly is resilience. And the skills and competencies. Competencies are very important to be resilient. Resilience has to be practiced. Resilience cannot be spoken. Okay, any number of words you speak on resilience, it cannot be achieved unless you practice that. So for which the knowledge is required, the skill is required, and the competency is required. So there is a need for training and developing these young professionals who are going to be the responsible leaders in the future. These are the ones who are going to drive the society in the next couple of years, 50 years, 40 years, 100 years. Okay, so whether it is that developing futuristic India, or whether it is developing futuristic global society, or any other country wherever you are actually working, training and developing young responsible leaders. These leaders have to be responsible. It is not just I have great knowledge, but that knowledge should be ultimately useful to the society or the community in which you are living. At the same time, it should be useful to the global level. I already spoke about the integrating technology and digital skills, the skills which are required. We cannot go away from them. We have to welcome them. Okay. So gone are those days where people have fear about the technology. People have some kind of inhibitions about using the technology. No. If you are away from the technology, you are away. That's all. You are permanently away from the future. So integrating technology and digital skills, this needs to be done first by the institute by providing the digital infrastructure in the society, and at the same time digital infrastructure in their own respective institute. The investment, of course, needs to be taken care, and then provide the opportunity for these young and responsible leaders to be digitally sound, actually, to make them actually digitally very capable people. And finally, of course, let us not forget emphasizing on ethical, innovative, and agile thinking, very dynamic thinking, very flexible thinking, resilient thinking. So I think all these will really develop. A couple of more points are there, but given the paucity of the time, I'm just closing here. So I wish the conference a very grand success. I hope the collaboration, the contributions of all the faculty members, researchers, will be very apt and very useful to this conference. Once again, I'm thankful to all of you, and thank you so much, and wish you all the best.
Thank you, sir, for such an enlightening and thought-provoking address on global challenges like technological advancement, dynamics of consumer behavior, requirements from MBA institutions across the world. Your perspective has truly set the tone for meaningful reflection and innovation for the day.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
It gives me immense pleasure to introduce our guest of honor, Dr. Sanmugan Annamala, Associate Professor at the Graduate School of Business, SCGI University, Malaysia. With over 15 years of academic and industry experience, Sir is a widely respected educator, researcher, and consultant in the fields of economics, finance, entrepreneurship, and business strategy. He has mentored hundreds of MBA and PhD candidates and is actively involved in global academic networks as an examiner, editorial board member, and evaluator for QS World Ranking and Times Higher Education, which reflects his academic leadership and commitment to excellence. His corporate background at AmBank, combined with his academic expertise, allows him to bridge the gap between theory and practice, especially in areas like SME development, innovation, and strategic planning. His presence today adds immense value to our conference. We are truly privileged to have with you, sir. We now invite you to deliver the guest of honor address.
Good morning. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Okay, good morning. My name is Shanmugam. I'm from Segi University, and recently we have been accredited as 1.5% of the global university, and we also have been included in one of the QS ranking universities. You can Google that in SEGI University in Malaysia. So coming back to the conference today, good morning everyone, respected dignitaries, faculty members, industry partners, fellow speakers, researchers, students, as well as all distinguished participants. And my deepest thanks to Dr. Tangavil and Dr. Sandeep for inviting me to speak on behalf, and especially the conference organizer, Dr. Shalini. Good morning to everyone joining us today, maybe from India or from different parts of India and perhaps globe. Okay, it is indeed a privilege and a great honor to be invited as the guest of honor in this year's Pathh 2025 International Conference organized by esteemed San Francisco Institute of Management and Research in Mumbai. Okay, let me first express my deep appreciation to organization committee for putting together such a relevant and meaningful event. In the era of conferences, I must commend for choosing this theme that goes to the heart what business and indeed societies that need for today, that is resilience and transformation in the dynamic business environment. Now, let us go back to what world we are living in today. Okay, we are living in extraordinary times. The pace of change is faster than ever before in terms of economically, technologically, socially, and also environmentally. So the business environment is not just dynamic, but is also disruptive, uncertain in many cases. Let me give you a quick picture on certain issues. Number one, global inflationary pressures continue to affect purchasing power and consumer behavior, as well as currently interest rate volatility has made access to capital unpredictable. And we also have witnessed supply chain fragility, particularly during the COVID-19 pandemic. And currently, we can also witness geopolitical tension on the ongoing conflict in the Ukraine, of course, the instability in the Middle East, and also the growing US-China strategic competition. And all these are leading to trade disruption as well as a decoupling of global technology ecosystem. And on top of that, we can also witness the climate crisis. It's a very important threat. Okay, for example, like heat waves in India, devastating floods in the Southeast Asia, wildlife in Europe and the Americas, and now all these are disrupting the agriculture, labor markets, and even financial planning. And also, we can say at the same time, technological transformation from the AI to blockchain to Industry 5.0 is redefining what skills we need, how companies operate, and how economies grow. So in this complex and interconnected world, resilience is not the ability to recover from shocks, but also to absorb, to adapt, and also emerge stronger. Okay. One example I can give is during the pandemic, many small medium enterprises (SMEs) in India or globally have shut down, but some survived and even grew before the pandemic. They were able to quickly switch from offline to online models to meet those urgent demands. Okay, let me put some examples in Indian perspective. Companies like Tata Consumer Products adapted rapidly by investing in digital marketing and e-commerce channels where traditional retail faced barriers. Okay. But resilience is not just only for companies, it's also for governments, for university, civil societies. They need it too. Okay, and educational institution also had to transform rapidly to adopt these digital tools. Okay, for teaching as well as assessment. Okay, many struggled, but those who are invested early in infrastructure and digital literacy fare much better compared to their competitors. Another aspect I wanted to stress is transformation. Okay, transformation is very important and very fundamental in the current situation. Okay, my question is: are we still solving the right problem? Are our business models aligned with the emerging needs? So these are some of the issues that we need to take into consideration. One example, one very good example, take Netflix. They just started as a DVD rental company, then became a streaming giant, and now they are producing their own content. So that's how they have evolved very much with the technology incorporated. Some examples I can give in India aspect. Let's take Pay Team and Phone Pay. They have revolutionized digital payments. Another one is Zomato, okay, the food delivery powerhouse, now exploring on drone logistic and also cloud kitchens. Okay, in agriculture, there's another organization, DHAT. Okay, a tech-enabled platform is also transforming how farmers access input, advice, and market, empowering smallholders with data and direct linkage. Okay, so let me touch a bit on ESG, environmental, social, and governance criteria. In today's business, transformation that ignores sustainability is incomplete. Companies that resist this shift will be far left behind. But those who embrace ESG will build trust, attract talent, and also secure long-term business. Lastly, human capital is also important in terms of resilience and transformation that really heavily depend on the people. Talent, skills, organizational culture are the true engines of sustainable growth. Okay, therefore, employees need reskilling, upskilling, especially in the areas like AI, green technologies, and data analysis. Okay, therefore, I would like to encourage all participants today, whether presenting a paper or audience, to ask yourself, number one, how can we make resilience more inclusive? Number one. Number two, what does transformation look like in emerging economics, not just the developed countries? Okay. And the last one is, how can academic research be translated into real world impact? Therefore, the ideas we are going to share today can guide not just for the companies, but also classroom, community projects, and also policy framework. Okay, let me conclude all this. The future will not be built by those who wait for things to happen, but also those who need to adapt and reimagine while holding on values that matter. Okay, resilience not only supposed to be on transformation, but also looked into human-centered, sustainable, and just. So finally, I would like to thank the organization of Pathh 2025 for inviting me for hosting this impactful conference. I wish you all intellectuality stimulating day ahead and encourage you to take full advantage of the opportunities for learning and connection. Thank you, and let us build together a world not only ready for change but also capable of leading it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Sanmugam, for your truly inspiring words. Your address offered not just valuable insights, but also provoked deeper reflection on the evolving challenges and emerging opportunities within today's global business environment, like use of AI, which is redefining the business environment of how companies operate. The relevance of your thoughts on research, innovation, strategic development was especially meaningful in the context of our theme today. Your words have added tremendous value to this conference and will certainly leave a lasting impact on all of us present here. Thank you.
SFIMAR Research Review, SRR, is a research institutional peer-reviewed journal published in online and offline mode with different ISSN number by SFIMAR. SRR started in 2004 and SFIMAR is continuing the legacy of the research. On that note, we are glad to share that this year the volume 20 issue 1 of SRR will be released, which is shown on the screen. Also, we are happy to inform you that the conference proceeding of Pathh 2025 is getting launched. We request our respected dignitaries, Reverend Brother Alphonse Nessimini, Chairman SFIMAR, Reverend Brother T.V. George, Registrar SFIMAR PGDM, Reverend Brother Albin Tete, Registrar SFIMAR, Dr. Sulbha Rao Rane, Director SFIMAR PGDM, Dr. G. Ramesh, Deputy Director SFIMAR, Dr. Thangavel, Convener of Pathh 2025, and Dr. Sandeep Kurtadkar, Co-Convener Pathh 2025, to come forward and launch the conference proceeding of Pathh 2025. Thank you, respected dignitaries. A person known for his quiet strength, wisdom, and unwavering commitment to academic excellence. We now invite Dr. G. Ramesh, the Deputy Director of St. Francis Institute of Management and Research, to deliver his concluding remarks for the inaugural session.
Respected Dr. Y. Ramakrishna Yanamandra, Chief Guest and Keynote Speaker of the Day, Dr. Sanmugam Annamala, Guest of Honor of the Day, our Chairman, Reverend Brother Alphonse Nesamani, Directors, Dr. Shalini Sinha, who is attending online, and Dr. Sulba Rao Rane, Registrars, Reverend Brother T.V. George, and Reverend Brother Albin Tite of the institutions, St. Francis Institute of Management Research and St. Francis Institute of Management Research, PGDM, Reverend Brother C.P. Joseph, Dr. Sambath Pillai, my colleagues, faculty colleagues and staff, and dear students. It is with immense pride and gratitude that I deliver the concluding remarks of the inaugural session of the 20th International Research Conference, Pathh 2025. As we conclude the inaugural session of this conference, I feel not only a sense of pride, but also a purpose. This international conference centered on the theme, resilience and transformation in the dynamic business environment, is more than just an academic event. It is a timely response to the pressing questions facing organizations, leaders, and the institutions in an increasingly uncertain world. Today's sessions, the inaugural sessions, began with a warm welcome address by Reverend Brother Alphonse Nesamani, Chairman of St. Francis Institute of Management Research and St. Francis Institute of Management Research, PGDM, setting the tone for an inspiring day. This was followed by the theme address delivered by Dr. Shalini Sinha, Director of St. Francis Institute of Management Research, which laid the foundation for the day's discussions. The keynote address by Dr. Y. Ramakrishna Yanamandra, our esteemed chief guest, brought forth deep insights rooted in experience and vision. He shared his thoughts in terms of nurturing the young leaders. He also pointed out global challenges such as rapid technological advancement, changing dynamics in the consumer behavior, competitive and highly business environmental structure, and also focused on KSE, that is knowledge, skills, and competencies, which are very important through integrating technology and digital skills. And finally, he also emphasized on ethical, innovative, and agile thinking. His words were further enriched by the perspectives shared by Dr. Sanmugam Annamala, Guest of Honor, whose reflections added valuable dimensions to the conversation. Dr. Sanmugam Annamala emphasized on living in extraordinary times in terms of economic, technological, and sociological characteristics. He also emphasized on global inflationary pressure, supply chain fragility, geopolitical tensions, leading to trade disruptions in the global ecosystem. Their conversations have highlighted a powerful reality. Resilience is not just about withstanding disruption, it is about evolving through it. Transformation is not merely about adopting new tools or trends, it is about reimagining systems, rethinking strategies, and redefining leadership for a sustainable future. Today's inaugural gathering and dialogues has also set a powerful tone for what promises to be an intellectually stimulating and globally relevant event. The presence of distinguished thought leaders, academic scholars, and industry professionals underlines the importance of this theme in today's rapidly changing world. As we have heard this morning, the business environment is evolving at an unprecedented pace, driven by technological disruptions, economic uncertainties, and global challenges. In such a landscape, the ability of businesses, institutions, and individuals to adapt, innovate, and remain resilient is not just desirable, but vital. This conference stands as a platform to explore these themes deeply through research, dialogue, and collaborations. It also reflects our institution's commitment to nurturing thought leadership and equipping future professionals with the insight and agility they need to thrive. I extend my heartfelt thanks to our esteemed chief guest and keynote speaker, Dr. Ramakrishna Yanamandara, guest of honor, Dr. Sanmugam Annamala, for taking out their valuable time and sharing their invaluable perspectives with us. I also commend Dr. V. Thangavel, convener, and Dr. Sandeep Kudarkar, co-convener, and their entire team of faculty members, staff, and students for the dedication and efforts in bringing Pathh 2025 a good life. A special appreciation to Dr. Thangavel for initiating and launching the conference proceedings of the International Research Conference Pathh 2025, which is a first on the entire Pathh journey. Let this conference serve not only as a platform for academic exchange, but also as a catalyst for practical change in how we resilience and transformation in business. I encourage all participants to engage wholeheartedly in the sessions ahead and to contribute meaningfully to the discussion. Thanks once again for being with us today, and I wish Pathh 2025 great success, and I look forward to the insights and collaborations it will inspire. Best wishes to all the participants. Do not look for only winning, but also a good participation and good share of knowledge to all the other participants and students attending the conference. Thank you so much and wish you all a good day. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
And now we step into the core of today's conference, the research paper presentation. We will now proceed with the paper presentations online. Dear participants, you are requested to join the respective track Zoom link. Track 1 presenters with code T101 to T108 kindly be on the same Zoom link. Track 2 presenters with code T201 to T209 kindly join the track 2 Zoom link. Once the paper presentations are done, we request you to wait back for the results and the valedictory. We extend our best wishes to all our presenters and look forward to an insightful day of research and discussion. Let us celebrate the power of research, resilience, and transformation at Pathh 2025. All the participants are requested to rename themselves as per the given code of participation. Only your code number should be mentioned. Please do not mention your name in the same. Thank you and have a wonderful day.
Good morning, everyone. I am Mahek Chudasma. I am honored to be the host for today's event. It is my pleasure to introduce our esteemed track chairperson for today's online paper presentation. We are privileged to have Dr. V.P. Sriraman, Area Chair and Associate Professor at Bharati Dasan Institute of Management, Trichy, Tamil Nadu, India. Dr. Sri Raman brings 24 years of experience, including 2 years in industry and 22 years in academia. He specialized in areas such as finance and economics, general management, financial and reporting, performance analysis, corporate finance, corporate valuation, design thinking, creativity and entrepreneurship, financial planning and wealth management, ethics and corporate governance courses. He also contributed more than 100 management development programs, providing training to middle and senior level executives across various organizations. His diverse interest also includes entrepreneurship, corporate governance, creativity and innovation, MSME, and HR general management related topics such as people management skill, stress management, and leadership. We are truly honored to have you with us, sir, today. Next, I pleased to introduce our rapporteur for today's session, Dr. Monali Sharma, Associate Professor at St. Francis Institute of Management and Research, PGDM. We welcome you, ma'am. Before we commence with the paper presentation, let us have a glance at rules and regulation for paper presentation in online mode. 10 minutes are allowed for presentation and 5 minutes are set for the Q&A session. Duration of the presentation: first bell will ring after 8 minutes and second bell will be ring after the 2 minutes. That is total sum of the 10 minutes. Presenter shouldn't disclose their name, identity or other affiliation. They should mention only their assigned code that is given by the institute. All the participants will adhere to the following IT configuration: processor minimum i3 processor, RAM 4G to 8 GB, internal speed 5 Mbps to 10 Mbps, webcam, good quality headphones with mic. The judge's decision will be the final. The total evaluation will be out of 50 marks. And here the detailed bifurcation of the criteria on which the research paper presentation will be assessed. Research topic and theme relevance, 10 marks. Review of literature, 5 marks. Originality of research work, 5 marks. Methodological relevance, 5 marks. Data analysis and interpretation, 5 marks. Findings, 5 marks. Recommendation and conclusion, 5 marks. Managerial implication, 5 marks. Q&A session, 5 marks. With due respect to our session chair and rapporteur, can we now begin with the paper presentation session? Thank you, sir and ma'am.
Good morning, all. I hope all of you are there.
Yes, sir.
Yes, okay, sir. So if everybody is ready, we can start with the first paper.
Sure, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Without further ado, let us commence with the paper presentation. Wishing all the participants very best for their participation. All the participants are requested to rename themselves as per the given code only, not mention their name in the bracket. I will be calling participant code with the title of the research paper. Participant code T101 with the research paper, Cultivating Connection Through Online Branding for Indian Higher Education Institute, will be start presenting now. Meanwhile, participant code T102 and T103, please be ready with your presentation.
Good morning to one and all present here. This is T101. Am I audible?
Yeah, you can go ahead. It is audible.
I'll share the screen first. Is my screen visible?
Yes.
Yeah. A very warm good morning to one and all present here, distinguished guests, fellow researchers, and esteemed colleagues. My code is T101 and my title is Cultivating Connections through online branding for Indian higher education institutions. To discover how India's higher education institutions can thrive and learn to attribute and boost reputation using digital tools. The main aim here was to understand how higher education institutions are struggling and what can we do to make them at a better place. In an era defined by rapid digitalized transformation, the landscape of higher education is evolving globally. For institutions worldwide, and particularly in dynamic markets like India, a robust online presence is a must. And just not the necessity, but you don't have an option. You have to have those online presence because nowadays students, parents, they first see the screen, check things, and then actually step in your institution. So it is very important for colleges and all the higher educational institutions to thrive in the digital age by strategically leveraging online branding to attract top talent and enhance their reputation. The research question which I had was, how does a strong online brand presence influence student enrollment and institutional reputation in India's higher education sector? The hypothesis statement which I concluded was, a strong online brand presence positively definitely influences student enrollment and enhances reputation in India's higher education sector by increasing visibility, engagement, and making sure that they're available online and they can attract the prospective students. Now, I would like to move on to the literature objectives of my research. Here, I analyzed what are the needs of students, as students are the main factors who are going to actually be in higher education institutions and they are the future of our globe. So, it's necessary to understand what are their needs, what are their requirements. Once we understand what are the needs of the student, we can assess strategies and prepare our institutions in a way where we can give what they want. Also, assessing strategies which are already available, which the institutions are already following. Not only assessing strategies, but also proposing improvements which can help the universities to be in a better position from then where they are today. And also identifying the key brand elements, what branding strategies they are presently using, and then making sure that we try to make an improvement in that, which will not only help the institution, but all the direct parties, all the stakeholders of the institution. Moving ahead, the literature review and the research gap which I conducted helped me to establish a unique identity to stand out in India's competitive education sector, where we are in tough competition, where I don't have only government colleges and government institutions, but private institutions as well. And there is lot of crowd. So to stand out in this overcrowded market, I have to attract the top talent. To attract the top talent, I have to create a strong brand that will not only help me in getting distinguished faculty, higher achieving students, and securing funding as well. For me, it's not only attracting students, I should have the best faculty with me. I should also attract source of funds because these funds are going to help me to run my education institution. Though my motto is not funds, but yes, I definitely need funds to run my organization. Uh, Next is institutional identity. Uh, yeah, effective brand communications that institutions values, culture, and vision to stakeholders. Stakeholders engagement, which tells me about successful branding connects with students, faculty, alumni, industry partners, and the wider community. Also, I have to have strategic brand development, which implements best practices, ensuring long-term recognition and reputation in higher education. Moving on ahead towards the research gap, I have limited understanding of the long-term impact. I couldn't, have focus on immediate effects, and some factors must have been neglected. Underutilization of emerging technologies. There are many institutions which cannot afford to have the AI, VR, and AR technologies in the digital presence. But yes, definitely they can have engaging stories uploaded on their social media websites. They can have consistency of whatever ads they're uploading throughout all the websites and social media, so that people will trust them more. There is lack of comparative studies as well. Research comparing brand strategies across different contexts, cities, and regions and countries needed to identify best practices and contextual factors. Also, inefficient understanding of student decision making. More research tells us that how online branding influences student choices and enrollment decisions, including the specific factors and platforms that are more influential. The research methodology which I followed, I had tried to take a sampling method where the data was collected through structured questionnaire through Google Forms, and it was distributed to certain professors, teachers, students, and parents as well. After this, it was analyzed through Google Forms, and Google Forms could built-in tools were employed to visualize patterns and trends in the responses. These representations help me to understand what people around think and how do they respond and how do they take decisions. Moving ahead to the data collection, here I have attached few of the graphs which I could get from the surveys. The graphical representation of the online strategies. The data which I have explained shows that alumni testimonials and success stories are more effective, and almost 40% of people feel that they trust on alumni testimonials more because they can see the recordings and they can see live responses from them. Also, search engine optimization for websites were found to be effective. Moving on to the next graph, there are certain challenges which the institution face. Maybe the basic constraint which they face is the budget constraint. That is highest, which institutions may have issues, but what they can do here is, as I initially mentioned, they can, with whatever budget is available, I can make sure that I can have successful stories, I can have connects with alumni which can post live stories. We can also have students testimonials and live feedbacks from professors which can build trust for them. In the second graph, they also rated about the current online presence of institutions. Almost 54% told that it is good and fair enough, but yes, definitely it can be improved. Discussion section. The discussion section will synthesize the findings from both quantitative and qualitative analysis to provide a comprehensive understanding of online brand Indian higher education institutions. It will definitely explore how effective HEIs are currently leveraging digital platforms to articulate their unique value propositions, and whether these efforts resonate the effects of the expectations of the stakeholders or not. A key focus will be on the stakeholders, that how they can be more better with perceived authenticity and trustworthiness of institutions on the online content and the factors they contribute to make good connections. I found out that the importance of strong website and active social media presence is a must. People trust more on social media. Sometimes institutions need to understand that only posting the same admission notice everywhere will not be enough. They have to actually understand that which media people are referring and then accordingly post the ads which they post. Also, they can use reels for students and detailed research updates for LinkedIn IDs that will definitely highlight themselves in minds of students. The website is more trusted, so we have to make sure that the website is having accurate information. Even people from abroad who are applying, they may trust on the detailed course and placements records on the website. So we have to make sure that whatever we upload is fair enough and trustworthy. Also, universities that respond promptly are being liked by everyone, so we could I could find that those institutions who are responding instantly, who may have chatbots, are liked more and accessible more by the students. Next, In 25, I would like to conclude that Indian universities have a rare chance to establish a powerful internet presence that extends beyond marketing. Though the development of unified brand identity, the efficient use of digital resources, and community engagement, they can draw in potential students and foster enduring loyalty. A strong online presence is very important to differentiate themselves from other competitors in the market. Whether it is cut-edging programs or outstanding teachers or a lively campus community, I have to highlight whatever unique things I have. I may not have enough funds, but I can try to utilize what strengths I have and try to see that I grab the opportunity which comes to me, and always be authentic and give trustworthy information that so that people will trust me. Moving on ahead, the recommendations which I feel for the paper would be, it includes with a set of recommendations for higher education institutions in India on how to build a strong online brand presence. They need to invest in website design and development. Also develop a comprehensive social media marketing strategy where they can create a high quality content towards the target audiences. Nowadays we have AIs. If AIs definitely helps, they try to analyze the students and give the data which they require, so that is very helpful. Even the 24/7 chatbots are helpful because every time you may not be able to reach the institution, but these chatbots at least give you basic information and satisfaction that yes, you have whatever efforts you have put is worthy. Also, we have to implement a search engine optimization strategy which monitors the effectiveness of online branding efforts. Not only implementing things online and on paper is enough, we have to make sure that we keep on reviewing things. I have seen many institutions only keep on uploading it once during the admission process and later they are not bothered, or their time must not have permitted. But we have to make sure that timely review is done for whatever updates you make so that the students are well aware of what is happening around. The managerial implications that can be taken are, the strategic resource allocation has to be made properly. The policies when we develop
Excuse
a
me,
proper training. Yes.
your time limits is already up.
So should I conclude?
Yeah, please wind up.
Yeah. Okay. Last but not the least, I would just like to conclude that all these insights from the study, though it is rooted in Indian context, but they will offer valuable lessons for higher education institutions worldwide, navigating the digital transformation journeys.
Okay, so could you hear me, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So let me congratulate you for choosing this topic. This is a very important topic that every institution today is looking at. So how do you brand yourself and how do you make yourself visible online? Right. So let me congratulate you. But I have few questions.
Yes, sir.
So if you look at from a research point of view, so you have stated in first that you are having some research objectives and some hypothesis. So how did you come to that hypothesis?
I
Because
analyze
you
it
are having
through.
your literature review after your hypothesis.
Can I answer?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, I concluded, I had conducted a questionnaire distributed through Google Forms and observing those
No,
diagrams
I'm
and.
talking about your research objectives.
Okay. Can you just repeat the question, sir?
No, I'm asking you, how did you come to your research objectives? The
I
topic
came
is fine.
Yeah, I came to my research objectives by understanding the need of it. I feel that I'm from the same background and I can understand them. What are the issues which people are facing around from the institution side as well as from the student side?
That is called a research question. What you are saying is a research question. When you say it's a research objective, the research objective has to come only from your literature review. After your literature review, so you said you got some gap, literature gap. So
Yes,
your research objective must flow from the research gap. See, now you said this is your objective. So this is the objective of the research.
yes, sir.
I'm talking about the hypothesis that you form, the research objectives that you have, this hypothesis or the research objective needs to flow from your literature review.
Okay, sir.
But I don't see any link between these two.
Okay, sir.
So that is number one. Number two, when you present the literature review, it is always better that you present the authors also, authors and the year of publication of the literature review.
Okay.
So nothing
yes,
is
sir.
stated here.
I have mentioned
So-
in the
so
research
that's the
paper,
second.
but PPT I had to mention it. Definitely
Yes,
noted,
yes.
sir. I'll make
PPT
sure
you
that
need to mention. So third is when you look at your sampling. So I could see that you have taken some 40 samples,
Yes, sir.
but I don't know who are the audience. What is the universe? So you are talking about HEI, right?
Okay, sir.
When you say HEI, universities are also HEI, B schools are also HEI. You have government institutions, you have private institutions, you have business schools, you have engineering colleges. So what is the definition of HEI in your research?
Okay.
Right. So which is not clear.
I
And
conducted a general view. I actually gave Google Forms to people, to known people, and tried to cover all the sectors. I mean, students, parents, but I could have done it specifically.
no, you need to do it scientifically. That's what I'm saying. So
Okay,
you
sir.
need to know what is the total number of colleges or the universities. So what is your definition of that? And you can, of course, send it through online. So to whom you are sending it through? So what is your process of getting that, right? The sampling process, whether it is a random sampling or it can be whatever the sampling that you have. So what is the sampling? So we don't have any idea.
Okay, sir.
Second is your questionnaire. You say that, so your questionnaire is for whom? You said you are asking the professors, right?
Yeah.
But the
Professors and students.
Yeah, so professors and students, they do not decide on online branding.
Yes, sir.
The directors of the institute, maybe they decide on the online branding, or the chancellors or vice chancellors or higher ups, they decide on the online branding. But these are all the only people who are one of the stakeholders.
Yeah.
So I think you are not clear in
Yeah,
that.
my research got limited because I couldn't conduct a qualitative interviews with the decision makers.
Yes, so it is not with the decision maker, it is with the professors, and the professors are not the decision makers. So which means that you are just asking them what is their view about online branding.
Yes,
Right.
sir.
That also you need to be very clear as to what is the total population, what is your sample size. You have taken 40, but what
Yes,
is
sir.
your total population? Whether this 40 will represent your population. So those are all the questions that remains unanswered. So with that,
Okay.
I think you have done a good job. So there are many things that you can actually add on
Yes,
to
sir.
make it more scientific research paper.
Okay, sir.
My best wishes.
Thank you so much for your detailed inputs. I'll definitely make sure that I make the changes in the current paper and go ahead with it.
Thank you.
All the participants are requested to strictly adhere to the timeline. First bell will be rang after the 8 minute. By that, you need to wind up your presentation. And by the second ring, that is after the 10th minute, you need to finish your presentation. Please strictly adhere to the timeline and follow it. Participant code T102 with the research paper, Strategic Innovation in Financial Planning and a Business Resilience, a global and Indian perspective, will start the presentation now. Meanwhile, participant code T103 and T104, please be ready with your presentation.
Good morning, everyone. I hope I'm audible.
Yes.
Yes,
You are
yes.
audible. Yes.
Yeah. So the topic, the code is T102, and the topic for the presentation is strategic innovation in financial planning and business resilience, an Indian perspective. Now, to begin with the introduction and the background, typically what we have observed is financial planning in corporates focused or had emphasis on budgeting, where budgeting, variance analysis, backward performance reviews. But over a period of time, post-COVID, it has been observed that the need for digital financial models being utilized in the terms of financial decision making has become utmost importance for any organization to survive in this highly competitive environment. So it requires for a person or an organization to look forward for models which are helping or which will support in their financial decision making when it comes to decision making at the strategic level or even resource allocation. So the objective of my study is to basically assess whether the organizations are adopting financial tools, digital financial tools like usage of ERP, usage of predictive analysis amongst the mid-sized businesses. The second was to study the impact of strategic financial innovation on the key insights of decision making, such as working capital efficiency, response to the requirements of the organization, and capital reallocation. And also, if there were any challenges or barriers which they were finding for implementing the digital financial strategies or implementation of digital sources. The next was to develop a contextual framework using the theory of dynamic capabilities theory. And the last is to recommend strategies or any suggestions for the financial planners so that they could look forward for digital innovation so that it helps them in building a foresight and resilience for their businesses. Moving on to the literature review and research gap. This is what was identified during my study. So over a period of last decade, what we could understand is, yes, people are moving towards digital utilization. Companies are surviving or using cloud platforms. CFOs are utilizing these strategic tools for decision making. However, what we have understood is that the small and medium scale enterprises have still been behind as compared to the global peer group, which is available for who's the actual hardcore when it comes to the Indian industries. So they are yet lagging behind when it comes to digital financial utility as compared to the other peer groups. There are papers which have said that yes, CFOs or CEOs have used these digital tools and it has helped them in becoming the digital area has helped them in building resilience for the business models, and they were able to take better decisions, and they could even go and do cross-functional planning and integrate them in their organizations because of presence of digital tools. And hence the gap was that the SMEs lag behind. So that is where the research gap was. Our SMEs, have they improvised in terms of utility of literature tools or these tools, digital tools, for the purpose of their decision making? So in order to do this study, a mixed methods approach was identified where qualitative and quantitative data analysis was done. For quantitative study, a sample of around 200 finance professionals in the mid-sized companies were studied. And for qualitative, the in-depth interviews were conducted with 18 top management professionals in the location of Pune, Nasik, and Vadodara in a span of years' time. Coming to the data analysis and data collection. So this was the findings that through the questionnaire which we could identify, these were the 4 parameters of the construct which I utilized. The first one was digital tool usage. Second was business resilience. Third is leadership support. And fourth is data-driven culture. So if we look at this, that the respondents have highly shown response that they are adopting digital tools, and it is also contributing to business resilience. However, the support from the leadership and the top management scores a little less. Coming to the relationship between digital tool usage and it helps in resilience, of course, there is a positive relationship, but it is a weak positive relationship. The next is data-driven culture and resilience. Is data-driven culture helping in and building the resilience for the business? There is a negative correlation amongst the two variables. Whereas coming to leadership support and its support leading to resilience, the relationship was again a negative, negligible correlation. So we can conclude saying that correlations are no longer strong, but then it definitely points out the importance of digital tool usage, and it is contributing towards resilience. But more than the culture and the other leadership factors, they are basically not that much of a significance. Now, coming to the regression relationship between digital tool usage and the resilience scores, it can be seen that the digital tool usage is a significant predictor. Now, this was with regards to the qualitative data. Now, quantitative data. Now, the qualitative data, when it comes to the model or the interviews that were conducted, there were 4 indicators that were pointed out in the entire study. The first one was strategic visibility, which indicated that CFOs preferred to have real-time dashboards that they required, which helped them in taking decisions with regards to cost containment and capital allocation. The second was real-time agility. So basically, interviewers said that they were looking for rolling forecasts that could help them in simulate cash flows for the organization in uncertain condition and can help them in enhance the liquidity. The third was cultural friction, which we could find that traditionally family managed businesses were frequently the ones who were not that adaptable to the culture of bringing in digital tool usage. And the last is transformational CFO, which said that successful cases have been seen for CFOs who have acted beyond their scope and utilized IT and strategies in terms of helping in terms of decision making for their organizations. So in order to conclude, so one thing which we could conclude or we could find was organizations with predictive dashboards and real-time analytics were rebounded faster with disruptions. Second is firms with agility, sense of ability to say, the model which I've adopted. It's a 3-pillar model which talks about real-time indicators or the ability to sense, ability to reconfigure, and then utilize those operational. So the three digital model which I've adopted, so they said that these 3 could be seen that that was proved that digital financing planning is not only a tool, but it is also a enabler, strategic enabler. The sectors where we could see adoption of digital tools was FMCG and logistics sector, because of I think it was more to do with the supply chain volatility. However, when we look at firms with less than 250 employees, there was less resistance in order to adopt to digital cycles or the digital tools that were suggested by the management. Recommendations, what we could recommend is that in order to stay in this competitive digital world, it has become a necessity that the firms need to have robust sensing and reconfiguration mechanisms which has to get strongly embedded, and for which every small organization, no doubt they have started, as the literature review and the data analysis proved, that they have adopted digital tools, but the integration of these digital tools and the top management and the decision making at the finance level has to get much more better and enriched, and that is something which we would definitely suggest. Now, managerial implication would be that it would, in the large scale, help in better decision making. And as I think our guest of honor also pointed out, that during COVID times, SMEs, some of them really could fight back, and they could survive even when they were, the transition from offline to online mode was very quick. So I think as we progress in this digital age, in this real age, the implication would be farly reflected in terms of the decision making. That is all from my side. Thank you so very much. We are open to questions.
Okay. Thank you for your good presentation. Of course, again, I congratulate you for the area you have taken. So SME is very, very important for any country, including India.
Yes,
but I have few questions for you.
Yes, sir.
So while you are looking at your objectives, so you are giving few objectives in your study.
Yes, sir.
So where did you get these objectives from?
So when we do our literature review, when we did the literature, we identified that yes, digital financial innovation has happened in organizations. That is
so
what you would see.
In your literature review, how many papers that you have actually gone through? You have shown us a table.
7. Yeah,
Yeah.
I have shown the key
from
ones.
that.
Yeah.
That's okay. So from that is what you derived your research objectives?
Yes, sir, because that is a research gap which identified that yes, there is digital presence of financial planning and tools, but at the SME level, the adoption which is happening is still, not that at level. So I wanted to study, has that been an improvisation that has happened from 2002 to 2025? If you see the OECD paper which I've mentioned.
But whatever now you are talking, I don't
Yes, sir.
find that in your objectives, and I don't find that in your title also, because your title is very misleading. You say that strategic innovation in financial planning, but now you are talking about the adoption of digital
Yeah.
tools among Indian SMEs or whatever the SMEs. So that's what for better business resilience.
Yeah, so
That's what
basically,
basically you're talking about.
yes, sir. So it is basically strategic innovation in financial planning and business
That's what.
resilience
So
is what I picked up. Yeah.
your topic is found to be too broad for the study that you have done. So I think it would be better, just my suggestion. I
Yes,
think it
sir.
would be better that you change your topic maybe in future. Just say that the adoption of digital tools in SMEs.
Sir,
Right.
because the emphasis of this, I mean, if you correct me, if I just have a query, like basically the intention was keeping this title was that it is trying to reflect that is strategic innovation, helping in, building business resilience.
See, that is a no-brainer.
Okay.
Any strategic innovation has to increase the resilience. You need not
But
to research for that.
the SME
Yeah, that's
segment
what I'm
was
saying. That
something. Yes.
SME must be
Yes.
there as a part of your title.
Okay, so I did not mention that. Yes, sir.
Number two, when you say SME, which industry you are talking about? Which sector you are talking about?
So SMEs in by far I've taken as in holistic, and hence my
When
sample
you say
in.
holistic,
Yes, sir.
which means that there is no number. In that case, you need to have at least some 350 to 400
So
samples.
200 was the sample size which
Yeah,
I
I saw
took for
that.
the SMEs.
I
Yes,
saw
sir.
that. So in that 200 sample, I don't know whether you have provided of that, how much is FMCGs, how much is which industry, whether it is
That
actually,
bifurcation I've not presented here, sir.
yeah, you have not presented here. I'm just telling for your betterment of your research
Ji, sir.
that whether it is actually indicating the entire SME spectrum in India. Because it's a sample. Sample has to represent the population.
Yes, yes,
So
sir.
you need to really ask yourself whether
Huh.
the sample that you have chosen,
Yes,
and
sir.
you said that you met 200 professionals.
Yes, the questionnaire was floated to
Yeah.
200. Yes, sir.
Professionals means who?
The
Are
financial
they,
professionals who are
no, are they
executing.
MDs? Are they CFOs? Are they CEOs? Right? Everybody is a professional.
Okay.
Who is
So
the
I should have.
professional? Right? Whether that professional is a decision maker in an SME for adopting your digital tools. Right? So these are some of the questions. Right? Of course,
Yes, sir.
I still say that it's a good paper. The
Yes,
only
sir.
thing is that you may have to think in these
Rephrasing
lines,
it.
right? So that it will be much better.
No problem.
Right? Thank you very much. All the best.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Participant code T103 with the research paper Strategic Review of Social Washing and Greenwashing in the Indian FMCG Sector will start the presentation now. Meanwhile, participant code T104 and T105, please be ready with your presentation.
Morning. Good morning.
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Good morning. You can start.
Thank you so much, sir. My code is T103, and the title of my research paper is not strategic, it's a systematic review. I'd like to correct, and I'll probably check it in the official record as well, because I've written systematic review of social washing and greenwashing in the Indian FMCG sector. With your permission, I'd like to now share my screen. Please confirm if it is visible. Thank you. Is my screen visible?
Yes, it is visible.
Thank you so much. So good morning, respected ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, sir. Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, Mehak. My code is T103, and the title of my research paper is a systematic review of social washing and greenwashing in the Indian FMCG sector. Why did I choose the Indian FMCG sector specifically? Because it is over $110 billion worth of an industry. So fourth largest in India. It's the fourth largest sector in India, and every single decision or every single movement that they make affects millions and millions of people, not just in India, but consumers across the world who may be associated with the brand or the organization in any form or manner. A bit of introduction and background. What is greenwashing and what is social washing? So all of these terms are not recent in nature. The practices have been observed for quite a while. These terms derive their origin from the term whitewashing. Whitewashing, we try to cover up. What do we cover up? We cover up the gaps in the walls. So taking its origin from the term whitewashing, now there are a number of washing like pink washing, etc. But greenwashing talks about environment and ecology-based, eco-based claims, which may or may not be verifiable. Versus social washing. Social washing is making claims which are making social claims which are talking about creating a social impact or benefiting the society. Again, these are not verifiable. So there's a consistent gap between what is claimed versus what is delivered, the promises versus the delivery. Greenwashing, the very term was discovered in record in 1986 versus social washing in early 2010. This is where these terms are coming from. Earlier on, however, it must be noted that these terms were simply falling under the category of false claims. So everything was a false claim. Now these false claims have been categorized. False claims in the name of ecosystem, false claim in the name of impacting the society. Now today's consumers are conscious consumers, and a conscious consumer, I say, is a dangerous consumer for the organization, because now these are aware and these are curious consumers. Today's consumers demand accountability from brands and organizations. Therefore, it is the responsibility of the brands to leverage their messaging. So if you're talking about sustainability, your practices and all which is not visible for the consumer, which is not delivered for the consumer, but it is practiced by the organization, has to be in line with these claims. A case and example is the most famous Hindustan Unilever. So the thought that triggered this entire concept of research paper is when I went to Hindustan Unilever's website. So now they're all claiming about sustainability, which is a welcome initiative. But when you look back at Hindustan Unilever's activities and a few cases, more recently, around 16 years ago in Tamil Nadu, Hindustan Unilever took over and organized the manufacturing of thermometers from ponds. And there was a spillover of mercury from these thermometers, and it was very dilapidated kind of a job that they did. They did not take care of the residue, which impacted the soil and also the people and the residents who were affected. And the case took over 15 years to settle. Now, nobody talks about those cases, but since I'm a consumer of that brand, I feel it is my responsibility not to support activities which are indirectly or directly harming the environment. Now, some of these claims are misleading. Many of these claims are misleading. When you talk about environment friendliness, eco-friendliness, how is it substantiated? Advertising Standard Council of India talks about substantiated claims, talks about questioning these claims. But if you look at the most recent cases and the number of questions that are coming up or complaints which are being filed at Advertising Standard Council of India, you'll see most of these, or if not all of these, are falling under the FMCG category. So fast-moving consumer goods, direct consumables, who are claiming to be eco-friendly, environment-friendly, green, and in a way trying to promote green consumerism. But the facts and the logic behind it is not substantiated by any third party. The objectives of my research, the major objective is to find out and also study the secondary gap that exists between the claims and the delivery. So assessing the prevalence of greenwashing and social washing in the Indian context with regards to regulatory frameworks, and most recently the regulatory framework which was given by SEBI in terms of ESG reporting, the CCPA, which is Central Consumer Protection Authority, as well as Advertising Standard Council of India over a long period of time. These cases are highlighting the fact that there is an actual prevalence of greenwashing and social washing, and not just in the advertisements, but also in the packaging and other claims. The second objective was to analyze consumer perception, again on the basis of established records. So for that purpose, I've taken Nielsen IQ, which is a record of 2,000, over 2,000 urban consumers' records and their perception. And third objective is to evaluate the regulatory framework and brands' accountability. Prominent pieces of literature. I've not made a table, but I'm really sorry, but I've simply categorized on the basis of what were the trigger points. So in terms of, I started off with regulation. So CCPA is what interested me, like I shared earlier. Advertising Standard Council of India. Most recently, they've started putting accountability for social media influencers as well. FSI, Food Safety and Security Authority of India, for the claims and regulations for direct consumables. Next, for conceptual framework, the most prominent piece of literature coming from Delma and Barbano in 2011, where they identified, through their experience, that hotels were talking about reusing the towels. So that just sort of triggered the thought process that reusable towels or disposable towels, and what is the accountability. Next, Leon Montgomery, who started questioning greenwashing and categorizing greenwashing claims. Most of these are coming from abroad, but then we have in Indian context, Jain and Sharma, Krishnan and Raghunathan, who directly started questioning the FMCG sustainability reports. Now we see an intersection of financial records as well as CSR as well as marketing. So now you see an intersection of how it's not just advertisements and what is communicated to the audience, but also communicated to the regulatory authorities. Mukherjee and Banerjee, who found CSR practices. Now we know that CSR is a mandatory exercise for the corporates. CSR has now taken a different form altogether, where CSR is being used for communicating that yes, we indeed did do well. For social washing, I saw Kumar and Bansal for rural upliftment advertisements and also claiming various benefits under various regimes, most popularly Hindustan Unilever and Godrej. For consumer behavior, I took Nielsen IQ 2023 for the greenwashing record. So consumers do question the eco-label and greenwashing claims that are being made by the brands. Chatterjee and Das, Testa et al., who claimed that eco-label and trust, there is a gap between these two concepts in the minds of the consumers. For CSR activities versus consumer loyalty built upon social messages, Bhattacharya and Sen did a considerable job. Next category was market impact. Now I wanted to triangulate ESG reporting as well, because that is a matter of prominence and probably a matter of major concern for the regulatory authorities. More, in fact, is my personal opinion than consumer protection. So therefore, when it impacts ESG, I guess it rolls more eyeballs. So Nath and Ramanathan, who started inquiring about ESG investing risk, Mehta, who started questioning about green claims of brands, and the subsequent reporting in ESG data. Sen Sharma also questioning about ESG data and how third-party records and verifiable records are not available. Digital influence, because I wanted to include social media. So fake claims being made by the brands, not advertising, but social media. So that's how ASCII also started increasing their purview. They did not cover social media earlier on, but it's a welcome move to a certain extent that now they are also regulating advertisements and claims made by social media influencers on prominent social media
Excuse me.
platforms such as Instagram. So, yes.
Your time limit is up.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Please continue. Wind up.
Okay, I'll quickly
Conclude
Yes,
your
yes.
presentation.
I'll just conclude the presentation. So the gap that I found was between greenwashing and social washing claims being made simultaneously by brands. For that very purpose, I studied more than 24 research papers and articles, being a qualitative, exploratory, systematic literature review. So I've done a systematic literature review of of 24 research papers, articles, and case studies. And this is purely secondary in nature. Most prominently, trigger points were case studies by Patanjali, Adani, HUL, like I shared, Imami, and they were widely questioned by the media as well. So the reports are available on public domain. Questions that arise in our mind are whether these greenwashing claims are actually creating an impact, and are the questions and the claims and the regulatory authorities actually impacting. The findings conclude that there is a need for stronger stronger regulation, and more transparency and accountability on the brands. One part I must mention that there is a limited record of rural findings. So the next level is to go for primary data. And my study concludes that recommendations, I mean, what kind of recommendations I look forward to. First of all, I need to study this topic further, but independent ESG audits are required. And if there's a ghost audit, that is required. Public sustainability education, so consumer awareness is required. For managerial implications, brands need to do a self-audit and act genuinely. So there is a responsibility that needs to be verified. Third-party verifications and certifications are a must, and there should be transparency in communication. There's not much record about the rural implications of the rural public domain records. So therefore, secondary data for this research relied majorly on urban-centric consumers. In the future, rural and urban primary data, as well as studying ESG funds. So I did not have access to direct records. That was a major challenge. Hence the scope for further research on primary level. Thank you so much for giving me an extension of time.
Okay, so it is good to hear. It's more of a storytelling. So it was good to hear. Unfortunately, you don't have time to present the entire paper, so I could not see any of the analysis that you have done here. But anyway, so it's an area which needs a lot of research. I think you are going in the right direction. But my only thing was, I do understand that you have taken FMCG specifically, and you said that the logic for which you are taking the FMCG is it is India's fourth largest or whatever. So I don't get that logic. So maybe you can substantiate in any other way, right? Like, for example, FMCG is what we are using day in and day out. Something like that, some sort of a logic where you choose FMCG, that would be better. Anyway, all the best. It's a good area to do research.
Thank you, sir. I wanted to speak about the 5 prominent case studies, but due to time management challenges, I could not cover that. But
That's
it's
okay.
mentioned in my paper. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Team Pathh.
Participant code T104 with the research paper Role of Design Thinking Approach on Sustainable Transport, a study on computers' experience of a public transport. We'll start the presentation now. Participant code T105 and T106. Please be ready with your presentation.
Thank you. Very good afternoon to all the dignitaries and all the fellow researchers present here. My track is my screen visible? Hello, am I
Yes.
audible and is my screen visible?
Yes, you are audible and your screen is visible.
Okay. So my track is T104 and my topic is Role of Design Thinking Approach on Sustainable Transport, a study on commuters' experience. So the reason why we have chosen this topic is with the increasing population, we see that there is an increase in the demand of public transport, but there is not an equal increase in the amount of facilities that are provided to the people, which is leading to imbalance. If we could see that there are 30 million passengers commuting on daily basis, and this is expected to reach to a much higher number by 2029. So coming to the objectives of my research paper, four main objectives that we have prepared is we are trying to introduce one new concept called design thinking, and we are trying to see the impact of this new concept on the operational efficiency of the public transport systems, the effect on the sustainability as well, and also the supply chain management. And also we are trying to explore if demographic factors are playing any role on the design thinking applications. Coming to the literature review, here I have just quoted one literature review. However, I have referred to almost 13 literature reviews, which I have mentioned towards the end of the presentation. So the past literature, whatever we have referred to, focused more on how the financial aspect can be increased and how the customer feedback and customer experience can be managed as well as increased. But as I mentioned, design thinking is a slightly newer approach which leads to effective or smooth transition of change management system by iterative changes. So that is as of now missing or is very less as compared to whatever previous researches on financial aspect are done. So we have decided to go ahead with this topic. Coming to the research methodology part, we have used quantitative methodology where the sample size was only limited to the Mumbai region. We have taken completely filled responses of around 150 commuters. The purposive sampling was used for the purpose, and we have tried to accommodate a few descriptive statistics, Levin's test of equality, and regression analysis. Coming to the first hypothesis, where we have mentioned that design thinking application has significant positive impact on the operational efficiency. We have found that the regression model explained almost 25% of the outcome variable, that is the operational efficiency. So our interpretation for this hypothesis was that public transport authorities should consider incorporating design thinking in the strategic frameworks, as it is going to lead to improved service delivery outcomes. Coming to the second hypothesis, where we are trying to study the impact of design thinking on sustainability. Again, here also we have found significant results where 20% of the variance was explained by our output variable. So we have interpreted this result by stating that design thinking, if it is focused on understanding user needs, it is going to definitely enhance the environmental and economic sustainability. Coming to the third hypothesis, where we have tried to tap the supply chain performance. So we got significant results where we could interpret that step-by-step implementation of design thinking with monitoring and feedback systems in place is going to lead to more effective transport operations. Also, we have observed through our analysis that the demographic variables do impact the design thinking. For example, the different commuting groups definitely show variation in their usage of transport. So we are able to interpret that demographic groups have different perceptions, and regular feedbacks are going to help in understanding and incorporating the requirements for better transport experience. This pic I have taken from the recent Times of India news, where authorities are trying to introduce 6,000 buses by next year. But the irony is that though they are trying to introduce more buses, but the number of buses as of now is actually decreasing. In 2022, there were around 3,000 buses. In 2024, the buses have reduced to 2,800. So there is a little disparity. This could be because the authorities are trying to introduce more EV vehicles. So this fact is yet to be explored, but this is what we can observe from the current statistics. And coming to the conclusions, I would like to state that the design thinking application would definitely prove beneficial to the huge population that commutes via public mode of transport. And if all the stakeholders are involved, like policymakers, planners, this will definitely lead to practical and inclusive solutions. The recommendations from my study is again catering to the needs of different age groups, because age groups is the observation that we have seen, which is impacting the design thinking application. Also, as a large part of population uses public transport, it may seem difficult to implement changes at one go. That's why the iterative changes become the need of the hour. Coming to managerial implications, I would like to state that by understanding both commuter behavior and environmental impact, managers can introduce eco-friendly, user-approved innovations such as integrating bicycles or e-buses or walking paths with main routes. Also, insights from user journeys, whatever feedbacks we are taking, that can highlight bottlenecks and redundancies in service delivery. Limitations of my study could be that I have taken the perspective of the commuters. The perspective of operators is pending because of the lack of permissions, but we definitely aim to carry this research ahead and also take the inputs from the operators. Also, inviting commuters and policymakers on similar platform for these process or workshop may be challenging. Future scope. So, since my study is limited to Mumbai, the statistics that I have quoted is actually overall within India. So, there is a future scope of applying this study to overall India in other metro cities as well. And right now, the specific mode of transport that I have considered is the buses, but the more modes of public transport like metro, monorail could also be considered for the future scope. These are certain bibliography, and the scholarly articles I have used for my academic work, and I have used the websites for seeing the statistics of today's references. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So it's a wonderful area that you have chosen. Congratulations. So my first question is that, is it a primary research or a secondary research?
It's a primary research.
Okay, so it's a primary research, which means that you have actually met the commuters, right?
Yes.
Okay, so across Mumbai.
Across Mumbai, yes.
So I'm sorry, because at the starting of your presentation, I could not hear. There was some technical issue from the side.
Okay.
So how many commuters you actually met?
So I have basically my co-author is also there. So we have met around 130, but
in which part of Mumbai?
In and around Worli.
Okay, so so of course Mumbai is a huge area. So
Yes.
Navi Mumbai is a huge area, but you are constrained yourself with Worli, right?
Yes.
So one specific place
Yes.
in Mumbai.
Actually, we have met in Worli, but then people are traveling from different parts of Mumbai to Worli.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So what is that you did with those commuters? How did you collect your sample, your responses?
Yeah, we floated a questionnaire.
Okay, so you are talking about this word design thinking.
Yes.
So, which means, see, normally whenever we float a questionnaire and get it, that's not design thinking. Design thinking is that you yourself need to experience with the customers. Have you done any design thinking workshops, or have you done any focus groups?
Yes.
Have you done that for those
Yes.
commuters?
Yes, we have done. We have had sessions in our institute for introduction of how design thinking basically works.
For commuters?
Yeah, for commuters.
And those are your samples?
Yes. They are my samples, and also like few snowball sampling also we have used, where they have also passed to the questionnaire to their friends.
Okay. Okay, because this your area is found to be interesting, but it is too broad an area. So when you say it's a public transport, of course, you said that in your limitation that you are
Yes.
talking only about the bus transport, and you have a lot of other things which are anyway there. Anyway, right. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity.
Participant code T105 with the research paper leveraging social media marketing to promote financial literacy and digital banking adoption can start their presentation now. Meanwhile, presentation code T106 and T107 can be please ready.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, all the respected dignitaries and the participants. Is my screen is visible to everyone?
Your screen and your audio. Your screen and your audio is audible.
Okay, thank you. The code is T105, and the title of the research paper is Leveraging Social Media Marketing to Promote Financial Literacy and Digital Banking Adoption. Introduction. As we all know, social media platform. As we all know, social media is a digital platform where people and businesses communicate, share, engage. Is my screen is visible to everyone? Yeah. Hello.
Ma'am, if you are moving your slides, then we are not able to see that.
Okay. 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 Yes. To begin with the research paper, as we all know, social media is a digital platform where people and businesses communicate, share their information, and engage with the content through various platforms and networks. This research papers examine how social media marketing strategically supports the customer learning. Yeah.
Your slides, we are not able to see it. Can you please reshare it?
Yes, sure. I'll share it again.
Which one? T104. Enu chalu sir.
My screen is visible to everyone now.
Look at mic.
Hello.
Kindly T104, please close your participation. Yes, now it's visible, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Sorry for the inconvenience that is caused. Okay. The title of my research paper is Leveraging Social Media Marketing to Promote Financial Literacy and Digital Banking Adoption. Introduction. As we all know, social media is a digital platform where people and businesses communicate, share their information, and engage the content through various platforms and networks. This paper examines how social media marketing strategically supports customer learning, build trust, and encourages the adoption of digital banking services. Background of the study. As we all know, banking sector operates in a highly competitive environment, making digital engagement and customer education vital for the growth. The social media platform enables to deliver engaging and interactive content, build a trust and loyalty by addressing queries, clarifying misconceptions, and offering the real-time support. My next slide covers my next slide covers
Excuse me,
the
ma'am.
yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you again, but if you are changing any of your slides, we are not able to see that.
I have just changed the slide now. It is not visible to everyone.
We just see the code of research T105 only. That slide is visible.
One minute. Let me check once.
Slides are not visible.
I'll share the screen again.
Ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Now it's visible.
Yes, my screen is visible.
Yes, ma'am. Now your screen is
Okay.
visible.
Okay. Sorry for the inconvenience caused. Yes, as we all know, the social media is a digital platform where people and businesses communicate, share the information, and engage with the content through various platforms and networks. This paper examines how social media marketing strategically support the customer learning, build trust, and encourages the adoption of digital banking services. Background of the study: as we all know, the banking sector operates in a highly competitive environment, making digital engagement and customer education important for the growth. So, social media platforms enables the bank to deliver the engaging and interactive content to educate the customers, and it also helps the bank to build a trust and loyalty by addressing their queries, clarifying their misconceptions, and offering real-time support. Moving to the next slide. Moving to the next slide. My research focus is on how social media marketing strategies influences the customer behavior in adopting the digital banking services. And the research objectives are to examine how social media marketing that is to help them to educate the customer about online banking services, to identify what type of post on a social media content, such as post, video, articles, advertisement, help the consumers to educate themselves, to determine how effective the use of social media is enhancing consumer financial literacy, and to ascertain how social media content marketing influences consumer behavior and acceptance of online banking. So these are my objectives. These are the various review of literature I've gone through. The research gap of my study is no doubt the social media platforms are extensively used to promote the digital banking services, but there is a little evidence about how they can be used effectively to educate the customers. So more research is required, more data is required to understand how social media can move beyond the promotions and help to create a long-term shift towards increased digital banking adoption and usage. Moving to the next slide, the research methodology. The research design, the study is of descriptive in nature and quantitative. The objective of research was basically to examine the role of social media marketing in promoting the digital banking services and financial literacy. The population was obviously the banking customers who are using the digital platforms. The sample size was 116 respondents, 74 males and 42 females across various age groups. Google Forms were circulated to collect the responses, and a convenience sampling technique was used. Online survey was conducted with a five-point Likert scale to measure their agreement and disagreement. Data collection, as I said, online survey was conducted. The data tool was a structured questionnaire which was circulated by way of Google Forms. Total responses collected were 160, and the time frame was 1 month. That is, in the month of May, in the 4 weeks, the data were collected. Data analysis, frequency count and percentage distributions was used for analyzing the demographic and usage data. Likert scales responses were analyzed to assess the agreement and trend patterns. The key insights which were identified during the research study, that Instagram and Facebook are the dominant platforms, the majorly used for digital banking education. High engagement and learning effectiveness, more than 90% of the respondents are saying that the posts of the banks are interactive. And importance of trust and security and myth busting in digital banking adoption. The output of my research is this study offers valuable insights and propose a practical suggestions to improve the effectiveness of social media marketing in digital banking. Social media promotes digital banking and it builds the financial literacy. As I said, Instagram and Facebook are the preferred, most effective platforms between the age group of 18 to 14 years. Interactive contents makes the digital banking very approachable. Around 62% of the respondents are saying trust and security are the major key for their decisions. Social media no doubt addresses the digital banking myths and of course the boost the confidence of the respondent. But the older customers, super senior citizens were or those who are not techno savvy about the digital banking services, they needs to be targeted and personalized communication should be done. So social media can be a powerful channel for educating and engaging and converting the customers to digital banking services. If it is strategically used and with a focus on a trust and privacy and the personalized messaging, then it can be considered as a powerful channel. Findings of my study, that is, social media is very useful and very effective in learning the digital banking services. The contents, the articles, the post videos that is shared by bank or posted by bank are highly shareable. The trust and decision making is concern for customers who are using the digital banking services. Okay. Conclusion. Social media is very important tool for helping the customers to understand and trust the digital banking services. However, the more efforts are required to clear up the myth and give the better information. So overall, I can say that social media is a valuable way for banks to educate the customer and build the customer trust and create strong relationship. These are the recommendations. That is, the bank can use interactive videos and guides, can share real customer stories, can clear the misconceptions, can improve the social media support, can post at a right frequency, can create a target content, can monitor and optimize the social media efforts. Managerial implications. Yes, it will help the bank to effectively conduct the campaigns for digital banking services. A bank can focus on focus efforts on platforms like Instagram and Facebook for higher engagement. It will definitely help banks to understand the trust, security, and customer support in digital banking. It will support to create personalized and target content. It will help the bank to address user concerns and misconceptions through social media. And it will help the bank to guide the resource allocation towards platform strategies with higher returns. Limitations of the study. The sample size was very small. Only the urban and semi-urban respondent were considered. Results could be biased because it was based on uh, survey answers, so it can be influenced by individual bias or their perceptions. Only limited platforms were considered for the study and limited examination of long-term behavioral changes. The future scope of my research study, that this study
Time
that
is
can
up.
be extended. Okay. The research study can be extended to larger and diverse customer group. Other social media like Twitter or mobile banking platforms can be used for further research study. A long-term impact on the trust and loyalty and the usage for digital banking services can be examined further. In fact, the research study can also be done to evaluate the cost effectiveness and the returns of the social media marketing and the new technologies for like AI chatbots can be used for user-friendly and trustworthy digital banking services. These are the various references I have referred for my research study. Thank you. Thank you. Am I audible to everyone?
Am I audible now? मैं
Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, Raki ma'am.
Yes.
So the topic is fantastic. I have quick questions regarding your sample size. Okay.
Okay.
So you have said that you have a sample size of 116 where you have distributed it into the males and females. But is there any age-wise distribution because it is regarding the financial literacy, right?
Okay. Yes.
So is there any age-wise distribution?
Yes, it was made. The total, yes, age-wise distribution was made between 18 to 25, 25 to 40, 40 to 60, and 60 and above were
Okay.
considered for research study.
So as per the age-wise, which was the range you find that they have a good financial literacy?
Mainly the youngsters and the middle age group between 41 to 60.
And whether they have been judged on some particular post of finance or financial planning or investment, or you have just randomly choose two platforms and ask the questions.
For my research study, actually, I have chosen Instagram, Facebook,
No,
WhatsApp,
no,
and YouTube.
I know that you have choose Facebook and Instagram that you have given in your
Okay.
study, but then any particular financial company you have choose to um, do your
No,
data analysis or any particular post through which you have find out what are the different views and comments for that particular post through which you could be able to understand the literacy of uh, that particular investment or planning.
no, ma'am. Randomly it was done.
because your objective somehow, your main objective, the one objective has been matched where you're finding out the impact of social media, but then how it has been directly linked with the social media and enhancement of the literacy, that has not been proved anywhere. So that
Okay.
one thing is missing. Otherwise, it is a very good paper and very good topic you have chosen. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Sorry for the inconvenience that is caused. Thank you.
That's fine, ma'am.
Participant code T106 with the research paper title LinkedIn and Employability, evaluating its impact on entry level job seekers of Mumbai. We'll start the presentation now. Meanwhile, T105, please stop sharing your screen. Participant code T107 and T108, please be ready with your presentation.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Your theme is resilience and dynamic environment.
Who is sharing? Ma'am, your video is not audible. It's not visible.
Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Yes.
So, our topic LinkedIn and employability, evaluating its impact on entry level job seekers of Mumbai city. Our introduction is.
We can't hear you.
1 minute. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, sorry. Let us go to the introduction, which is the relevance of the background is because of the history of more than 2 decades of LinkedIn. Contextual framework is Mumbai city and job seekers, because being a cosmopolitan work environment in Mumbai city, we are talking of freshers as job seekers post-graduation. Significance of the study is because LinkedIn is a widely used social media platform for jobs. Emergence of professional social networking. Literature speaks about post-COVID, it has become a digital platform for jobs. Research questions and challenges are lack of awareness of students, optimizing to the keywords and summaries, technical barriers and challenges because of the algorithms of the facilitator, which is LinkedIn, lack of mentorship of the customer, which is the freshers and job seekers, and challenges in how to support the postgraduate students. Next. The literature, we have summarized the literature. Our literature is quite strong and very lengthy. It started around Barrow Faldi in 2017, speaking of this as a personal branding website. Then Faldin, you could say, strengthening it in 2024. The role of social capital, this, if you can see, I put 1973, where first time a theory of strengths and weak ties, bringing out the best through networking. Remember, this era is when there was no internet, but a theory was given at that time. So I'm speaking of the history of this literature. 2020, it was recruiters' perception through digital resumes, and this is in a COVID era. Skill signaling is algorithms picking the skill sets, and LinkedIn in higher education and career services is after graduation in the age of 20 to 25, Larson had identified it first time in 2020. There's much more literature, but I've only highlighted it to a summary. The gaps in this literature are the demographic focus of this age group, which is first time entering the job market, lack of longitudinal studies because we don't have long, broad studies all over the world for LinkedIn. Unexplored algorithmic barriers. LinkedIn is still in the nascent stage, just like our director ma'am spoke about AI and ChatGPT. Insufficient cross-cultural comparisons. Yes, if you are doing Mumbai city, there could be a cross-cultural comparison with other cities of the world or continents. Digital literacy drive is, going in depth into this, understanding the digital world. Passive usage partners among graduates, which I mean postgraduates, suddenly they just go into their own shell, and 3 months to 6 months they will not be coming out of it. Sort of mismatch between digital platforms and design at entry level. Next. Next. Objective of the research, as you can see, is fourfold. I'm not reading out the objectives, which will take time because we are covering it in detail in the discussion and hypothesis testing, because we have done it objective-wise outpour into the outcomes. Next. Research methodology, we have used exploratory research for qualitative data and descriptive research for quantitative data. So, and the sample size is 21 to 25 age group, that is postgraduate students. And they are single respondents, but yes, the respondents are identified and then the questionnaire was subjected to them. Primary data was used. And we are saying close-ended questions because we didn't give them the scope of answering in word or paragraph format. Secondary data was also used extensively for the literature for identifying the gaps. Next. Sample size was using the formula, and we derived 385 as the sample size in Mumbai city of fresh graduate job seekers. But due to shortage of time, we have used 330 respondents. Next. Next. Our questions, we use a Likert scale. I could tell you on the first question of LinkedIn profile partially completed is 41%, where again shows a lacuna. Next. LinkedIn network in terms of connections, as you can see, the highest score is 201 to 350, which is again very low. More than 500 is 11%, which should increase gradually because your visibility is low then. Next. The time your hours spent on LinkedIn is 1 to 2 hours. If you all must have seen, WhatsApp also gives you a time slot of how much screening per week. I think more screening as you are traveling, etc., could be increased because more than 2 hours is very low to 15.5%. Next. On a Likert scale of 1 to 5, unfortunately, no comments is 95 count, which is 28.8%. And that no comments does not give us any scope to further have a discussion or an outcome. But I will wish for lesser in that and more in very frequently engaging in LinkedIn. Next. Awareness of the industry and trends. Again here, the no comments 81, 24.5, which is very high. And industry trends and updates to being very much aware of it should be going into the rating of 5. And it should have been the highest. So this is still in the nascent stage. Next. On a question of confidence in your career readiness, 105 are not ready or no comments, and then it comes close to it by 90 counts of a percentage of 27.3. Students are still lacking confidence, it shows. Next. When I say students, I mean postgraduates who are more or less completed their education. Next is on the professional development on LinkedIn, the courses that they're taking, the industry posts, networking, likes, comments, reposting, all those factors. Again, here, not doing much, which is 94 count, and close to it, little, not never, and little more is 29%. Again, we wanted to move to the bracket of the fifth, very frequently used. Next. Do they use research for LinkedIn, companies on LinkedIn before interviews? Again, sometimes is very low on a Likert scale. So 37, that is, and always is 39, which is close to each other. It should have been above 60 or 80. Next. Here again, the desired one on having LinkedIn recommendations or job search prospects could have been higher, but assuming we have gone on the assumption that the truth is spoken, and that is the reason we have got what we have got as responses. Next. How comfortable you are in approaching someone on LinkedIn for career opportunities? Actually, very comfortable should have been very high, because this is a platform, it's a social digital world.
It is up.
Next. Next. These counts, I will move faster so that we go to the next of discussion for outcomes of the hypothesis. So I go with my co-author.
Participant, unmute yourself. You are not audible.
Yeah, thank you. So now we move on to the discussion slides, and this section consists of the various parametric tests performed on the data collected from our respondents. The confidence level set we have is at around 95%. This is the raw data that I'm presenting to you. Now we move on to the second sheet, which shows us the multiple regression. Now the objective here is to examine the relationship between LinkedIn's networking activities and the job search outcome among recent students. As we can see, the R-square value is around roughly 22%, which is of acceptable range since our data is complex and due to analyzing human behavior. Additionally, the significant F value, as you can see, is less than an alpha value of 0.05. So we accept our null hypothesis. And hence this proves that there exists a relation between different activities on job search success. On to the other objective. The next objective talks about looking into how graduates make use of LinkedIn through other professional activities like following webinars, networking, or showcasing their achievements. Here, we have performed an ANOVA test wherein the p-value came out to be around 0.78, which is greater than the alpha value. So we have accepted the null hypothesis. As we can also see, the averages, it ranges from 2.96 to 3.06, which indicates low variance.
Your time is up.
And for our final objective, the next objective speaks of assessing usage levels and comparing it with user confidence. Here, the p-value is less than 0.05, which proves our alternate hypothesis that exists a significant difference, and the averages as well are in quite a broad range, proving that there is a significant difference in confidence level based on time spent on the app.
There was a last for the future scope, but if you're giving us time, we would like to say that. Can we go ahead?
Yes, ma'am.
The future scope is this all work started with soon after COVID was announced in June 2020, Ray Rolinsky, the CEO, existing CEO of LinkedIn, was given a mandate. He was a senior vice president at Microsoft, which owns LinkedIn. So he was given this to improve his visibility and be a #1 social media platform for digital resumes and create a new world from the traditional recruitment facilities. Coincidentally, just 2 months back, he was given an extension of 5 more years as CEO because he proved his mandate. Meta-analysis of the scope in future is, as Mumbai city, if you target many more cities like Tokyo, New York, etc., using the same questionnaire, the validity of this questionnaire is very strong to use the same questions, and the cultural analysis could be a little extension. So you could do a meta-analysis using this questionnaire. Also, LinkedIn recruitment could change the labor market mobility. People, if the skill sets only are identified to the algorithms, they could where there's a requirement, they could join. So freshers have a huge market out there of various states, cities, countries, and continents. Next one, limitations. The limitation of the study is that generalization. We are trying to match the man with the machine. Man is the customer or the first-time job seeker. Machine is an algorithms at the other end. So we are going into a new world of recruiting, which may become the future, just like AI of the world. Does LinkedIn by itself have a database or server whereby whenever they want, the resumes could be pulled up as and when required? So they will have to think from that angle, and generalization will happen, if the cultural factors are identified. That's a scope as well as a limitation. Geographical limitations, we don't know whether Mumbai city and the other cities of the world have the similar type of behavioral pattern for job seekers. Platform exclusivity, yes, there could be many more, and then there will be a confusion.
Sorry to interrupt you, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay, y'all can go ahead with your questions.
Yeah.
Last, I would like to say demographic diversity. We have only identified youngsters of Gen Z in the age group of 21 to 25. The question
Yeah,
is what
that
do
you have already mentioned in your research methodology with the age which you have given.
Yes.
Thank you so much. So, my question is that your objectives, you have proved your objectives very clearly and precisely. Congratulations for that, ma'am.
Thank you very much.
But the thing is, one query I have, that your title says that LinkedIn and employability, where you are evaluating its impact on the entry level job seekers. So my question is whether you have done the survey of the postgraduate students who are in the first year, or you have done a survey for the students who are opting for the placements or being selected for the placements.
Our survey identified respondents precisely of those who are taken post-graduation, post completing their graduation, and updating it constantly, the journey itself, from constant usage patterns, whereby they would be selected only via LinkedIn for a job.
No,
so what is the experience?
That means you are trying to evaluate the impact on the postgraduate students to make the visibility on the LinkedIn platform rather than entry level job seekers, because these students cannot be entry level job seekers. My second question is, it would be, your paper could be more clear when you identify few specific variables, like when you update a profile on LinkedIn, whether the profiles are being selected on the basis of the skills that the students have, one thing, or whether the knowledge or the expertise they update on their LinkedIn profile. These are the two major variables on which you could have extend your work, or you may do it in the future. First thing. And
I would still like to answer this by saying that the minute a resume comes of a fresher, that person is tracked on LinkedIn also. I hope that answers your question precisely. The minute a resume comes of a fresher for a job seeker, the person is just like we identify companies for understanding for interview purpose. The reverse is also done by organizations.
Yeah. For that, you could include some recommendations, like there should be some mentoring sessions for the LinkedIn where students will be able to enhance their visibility on the LinkedIn. And the second thing, there should be a small training to build up the network on the LinkedIn with the companies, okay, where they will be able to get the jobs through the LinkedIn. Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.
Participant code T107 with the research paper titled the role of reverse mentoring in knowledge transfer. Can start with the presentation now. Meanwhile, the participant code T108, please be ready with your presentation.
Hello? Am I
Yes.
audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Our code is T107, and our research topic is the role of reverse mentoring on knowledge transfer. So now in most of the workplaces, mentoring has always been a one-way street where experienced seniors guiding their younger employees. This top-down approach helps pass on wisdom, skill, and company culture. However, as workplaces evolve, a new trend is gaining ground: reverse mentoring. In this model, younger or junior employees mentor their senior counterparts, particularly in areas like digital technology, social media, current trends, and generational perspectives. So, reverse mentoring promotes mutual learning. It breaks hierarchical barriers and fosters a more inclusive and future ready organization. Now, with this context, we move ahead to the literature review. So, Chaudhary and Ghosh and Murphy talk about how reverse mentoring builds generational bridges and helps younger leaders. Ratti and Tomlinson focus on its role on organizational knowledge sharing. Chen and De Angelis studied its effect on traditional mentoring and social media knowledge transfer. The recent study by Harshani and Adibeo link reverse mentoring to employee engagement and knowledge management. Chen and Vogel explored how mentorship facilitates tacit knowledge transfer in Chinese MNCs, while Chaudhary, Park, and Johnson systematically reviewed reverse mentoring in relation with engagement, inclusion, knowledge sharing, and talent development. There were few research gaps. Specifically, we found out the two research gaps, that there has been very limited research which explores the impact of gender on reverse mentoring outcomes. And the second research gap is none of the studies that were referred for this paper particularly assess its effectiveness from both mentors and mentees perspective. Moving on to the objectives, there are three objectives. First, to explore the role of reverse mentoring in facilitating effective knowledge transfer within organization, to understand or study the factors which have a positive influence on mentoring and reverse mentoring, to study or understand the perception of mentors and mentees regarding reverse mentoring.
Okay, so now moving forward with the research methodology. So the research design is descriptive research. The research approach is quantitative, where we have used a questionnaire. The source of data for primary has been collected by means of the questionnaire, as already mentioned. For secondary data, it is collected through research papers, reports, and by referring to websites. The sample size is 75 respondents among the people who are working in various organizations in Mumbai, and the sampling technique is convenience sampling. So moving on to the data collection and data analysis. So first we cover the demographic factors. So age. So majority of the respondents fall within the age of 21 to 30 years, and the next largest group was between 41 to 50 years. Gender, majority, that is 53.3% respondents are females, while 46.7 respondents are males. The next question was, do you have a formal mentoring program in your organization? Majority, that is 85.3, said that yes, they have a formal mentoring program in the organization, and the rest said they do not have one. The next question is, did you ever have the chance to be a mentor or a mentee during your work career? So most of them actually said that they had a chance to either be a mentor or a mentee during their work career, while 18.7% said no. So we removed the 18.7, and only the 81.3% who said yes to this question were taken forward to the rest of the questions. So the next question was, how frequently are mentoring sessions conducted in your organization? So most of them said that it is conducted on a weekly basis. Then 32.8 said monthly, 21.3 quarterly, and 11.5 said annually. With regards to gender of the mentor and the mentee, so the question was whether they belong to the same gender as the individual or of the opposite gender. So most of the cases, 60.7% of respondents said that they had a mentor or a mentee of the same gender, while the remaining 39.3% said that the mentor or the mentee is of the opposite gender. Then did you play the role of a mentor or a mentee? So 62.3% respondents actually play the role of a mentor, while 37.7% respondents play the role of a mentee during their interactions. So the first set of questions are towards the mentors and the rest, the second set towards the mentees. So moving on to the questions directed towards the mentors. The first one was, have the mentoring objectives been achieved in your sessions? So most of them said that yes, all objectives have been achieved, while 28.9% said objectives are partially achieved, and 10.5 said that objectives are not achieved due to lack of organizational support, and there are also some other conditions like time constraints or even due to lack of engagement. The next question was, did reverse mentoring occur during your mentoring sessions? So 71.1% of the mentors replied yes, reverse mentoring occurred during mentoring sessions, while the rest said reverse mentoring was not part of the mentoring sessions. The next question towards the mentors was, in what areas do you think reverse mentoring is most applicable? So 22 of the mentors, that is 57.9%, said that it is with regards to new industry trends, innovations. That is the one area that is most applicable. 47.4 said that work-life balance and mental well-being also was discussed as part of reverse mentoring, and 44.7% voted for social media and communication trends. Then how effective has reverse mentoring been for your work? So in this case, it's a Likert scale of 1 to 5. So 36.8% respondents said that reverse mentoring was very effective, 21.1% said effective, and the rest are mentioned here. Now, the next question towards the mentors was, have you taken any steps to encourage reverse mentoring because it's happening in your organization? So 39.5% actually promoted reverse mentoring and encouraged participation. 28.9 said that yes, they are encouraging reverse mentoring, but only within the immediate teams. 18.4 said that they did not encourage, but they would like to encourage it. And 13.2 said that they did not see the need to encourage reverse mentoring. And the next question is, what are the major challenges, obstacles that discourage reverse mentoring? So the one major challenge that they said is there is a lack of formal structure for reverse mentoring. The next one was resistance from senior employees to be mentored by their juniors. Other challenges were time constraints and workload, and also lack of awareness about the concept. Now we move on to the questions towards the mentees. The first one was, what are the major outcomes that you expect from mentoring? So most of them actually said that better interpersonal skills is one major outcome, followed by increased confidence in decision making, better understanding of the culture of the organization, and also knowledge transfer and industry insights. The next question was whether these mentoring sessions have been effective in achieving these outcomes. So we took it on a scale of all the choices that were given in the previous question on a scale of 1 to 5, one very ineffective to very effective. And then we did a weighted average rating of the same. So as you can see, among the options that were given, improved career prospects, most of them said that it's quite effective because the mentoring sessions were able to achieve the outcome, that is 3.86. The one that many mentees were not very effective or felt it is not effective is improved technical knowledge. The next question was, what challenges do you face during mentoring sessions? So 34.8% of the mentees said that the major challenge they faced is in building a rapport with the mentor, followed by the time availability that the mentor could give for the mentoring sessions. And how receptive is your mentor to reverse mentoring? So in this case, 34.8% said the mentors are somewhat receptive, and 26.1 said that mentors were not very receptive, while 21.7 said that mentors were very receptive to reverse mentoring. So the next question was to all the respondents, where we asked for the suggestions which will help to increase knowledge transfer through reverse mentoring. So these are some of the suggestions which I'll just quickly go through. One is to create a safe space where seniors feel comfortable learning from juniors. Sorry?
8 minute is up.
Okay, thank you. Promote active listening, encourage mutual respect, and also to be more receptive during interactions. So moving on to the hypothesis, we framed two hypotheses. The first one was there is no significant difference between cross-gender mentoring and same-gender mentoring with regards to achievement of mentoring outcomes. Alternate was the opposite of the same. Second hypothesis dealt with the significant difference, or there is no significant difference between cross-gender mentoring and same-gender mentoring with regards to effectiveness of reverse mentoring. And the alternate hypothesis said that there is a significant difference. So for both these hypotheses, we use a t-test. Now, using the t-test and the data collected, the p-value came up to 0.58, which is greater than 0.05. So the null hypothesis is accepted in the first scenario. So there is no significant difference between the gender, that is cross-gender mentoring, and same-gender mentoring with regards to achievement of mentoring outcomes. For the second case also, we use a t-test. In this case, the p-value is 0.21, which is again greater than 0.05. So again, the null hypothesis was accepted. So moving on to the findings, which are given objective-wise. The first one was to explore the role of reverse mentoring in facilitating effective knowledge transfer. So some of the key benefits of reverse mentoring are mentioned here: fostering innovation because you're learning from someone new who may have better digital skills. You are including or making the diversity inclusion better in the organization by giving more people to contribute in knowledge transfer, and also building a learning culture. So second objective was to understand the factors which have positive influence on mentoring and reverse mentoring. So this we categorized into three categories: individual factors, relationship factors, and organizational factors. So some of them are self-awareness in individual factors, active listening skills will help. Relationship factors to build trust and rapport with the mentor as well as the mentee. And organizational factors is to have a proper structure and design in place, which will make it easier for the mentoring to happen. Now, the third objective is with regards to the perception of the mentors and the mentees, which we've already discussed. So I'm just showing the same. This is the perception of the mentors, which we had gone through. And the second is the perception of the mentees. And the final was the hypothesis testing and the result of the hypothesis testing, which we just discussed. Moving on to the recommendations, this is based on the challenges faced by the mentors and the mentees. So one is to have clear guidelines for effective implementation. Second is to have awareness programs to reduce senior resistance. Then try to have mentoring, which or mentor-mentee pairing, which is based on skill and interest based, that will lead to better outcomes. Allocate dedicated time so that the time availability of the mentor will not be an issue. Focus on interpersonal skills and knowledge transfer, because that will lead to better outcomes. And try to ensure that reverse mentoring is not just focused on the team, but also across teams. So that will lead to a better scope for it. So moving on to the discussion, it is from the study is clear that there are occurrence of reverse mentoring also happening in mentoring sessions. Most of the, or more than half of the mentors said that reverse mentoring was effective in improving their work. Mentees and mentors both suggested to have better process and framework in place to support mentoring as well as reverse mentoring. And contrary to expectations, we felt that gender could play a role, but what was found is there is no significant difference between the outcomes for reverse mentoring as well as mentoring when it comes to the gender of the mentor and the mentee. Moving on to management implications. So ideally, when you talk about mentoring, the best thing about mentoring is it will help to bridge the generational cultural gaps between the mentor and the mentee and bring them onto the same page. And also for the mentees who take the role of the mentors during reverse mentoring, it gives them a chance to understand what is leadership development, to understand how it can they can actually add value to the organization, and also to teach or coach people who are more senior to them. Empower employee engagement, because now there is knowledge transfer in both directions. So both the employees, the mentor as well as the mentee feel engaged, and they also are gaining from something from it. And also to drive innovation, because through reverse mentoring, you're giving a chance to the younger generation to teach the older generation about the latest things that are happening with regards to digital innovation as well as with regards to digital technology. The limitations, one is the sample size, which is 75. Second is the data was self-reported, which can lead to biases. The industry-specific differences may not be applicable because we have gone across sectors. And the next is other factors like culture, leadership style were not considered for this particular study. So future scope is one is we can maybe do a more focused study or reverse mentoring across sectors. Sorry, someone is lost. Next is to see whether there is an impact on organizational culture and see whether reverse mentoring can be done in a multicultural setting. So finally, the conclusion, reverse mentoring is more than just a knowledge sharing tool. It is a way to bridge generational gaps. When both sides come together, they don't just exchange skills, they also build relationships. So when organizations create a space for authentic two-way learning, that leads to better, stronger teams, deeper connections, and a culture that leads to continuous learning. These are the references, and thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Your topic is commendable. I have only two questions in my mind is, does the reverse mentoring play a role while there are appraisals of the employees?
Currently, I don't think it does, but that is some suggestion that we have mentioned that for future, for example, to understand the leadership capability of a candidate, you can always see whether reverse mentoring is something that they are taking part in and whether it is leading to any validation for the people. Because at the end of the day, when you want leadership potential, you want to see whether they can take on a bigger responsibility. So that is where reverse mentoring can surely come into the picture.
Yeah, it can come into picture when there are the exit interviews as well.
Yes.
My second question is, you have put some light on the hierarchy while doing your analysis, right? So does the hierarchy matters while it comes to the mentoring roles, where in the conclusion you have said that to bridge the generation gap, we can implement a reverse mentoring. So does the hierarchy matters over here?
So it is something I would say in an ideal world, hierarchy should not matter, because mentoring is where you're trying to ensure that the other person learns and there is knowledge transfer. But in certain cases, like as we mentioned, the challenges of the mentees also said that they were not able to build a rapport with the mentor. So it could be because of the hierarchy. That would be one of the reasons. So that is the reason why we have said that ideally going forward, mentoring should be looked at across hierarchies and try to see it as a platform for knowledge sharing, irrespective of the designation or the hierarchy of the individuals involved.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Participant code T108 with the research paper title Disrupting the Traditional, a study on a peer-to-peer lending and its role in transforming financial intermediation in India's dynamic business landscape, can start their presentation now.
Good afternoon, one and all. I hope my slides are visible and I'm audible.
Your slides are visible and you are audible.
Thank you so much. So I am T108, and the topic is disrupting the traditional, a study on peer-to-peer lending and its role in transforming financial intermediaries in Indian dynamic business landscape. In order to start with introduction background of the study, would like to first introduce what is peer-to-peer lending. Peer-to-peer lending is nothing but where it is a digital platform which actually connects the lenders and borrowers, and which actually bypasses the traditional banking system. In India, it is actually started in the year 2014, but it was recognized by RBI in the year 2017 by as NBFC P2P. And most important aspect, that post-COVID-19, these platforms became especially important for businesses. The objective of the study, the three major objectives. The first one is to understand the behavior and the perception of investor and borrower towards P2P. Assess the how P2P lending supports financial inclusion. And the third one is to identify trust and risk based on challenges which is related to the P2P adoption. The literature review is been done through a thematic format where the themes which have been taken, like evolution of P2P lending, user behavior, financial inclusion, trust and risk, and various papers have been taken up. While global study exists, their lack of empirical research on peer-to-peer lending post-COVID-19, especially in India, is lacking. So the key findings from the literature review shows that the trust and ease of use risk perceptions are critical for adoption. P2P helps the unbanked through the alternative credit scoring and promises high return for the lenders. And this is how we identified that, okay, post COVID-19, we can identify the users of behavior, user behaviors through lenders and borrowers. Research methodology. So the data has taken up through a structured a survey of 300 P2P platform users, which was equally distributed among the lenders and borrowers. And the Likert scale, 5-point Likert scale was used, in which the construct was given for each variable. 3 constructs were given. And the analysis is done with the help of Smart ELS, and they used SEM model, that is structural equation modeling, along with logistic regression and chi-square test. The reliability is very much checked in order to identify the model fit indices. So this is the model which we have created, and with the use of TAM model, we have identified a few variables. So there are total 5 variables which are independent, and 1 variable which is dependent, and 1 mediating factor is there. So trust, ease of use, access to credit, perceived risk, investment decisions are the independent variable, whereas the willingness to continue is a dependent variable, and user satisfaction is a mediator variable. These are the hypotheses. So I'll go forward with the data analysis so that the same hypothesis can be checked. So the data collection and analysis, as I've already mentioned about the data collection, I would like to talk about the description part. That is 52% of the people are male and 48% are female, and mostly 60% of the age group is somewhere around 25 to 40. So the data is more towards the millennial. Apart from this, when we talk about the borrowers and lenders, one of the best good part what we observed through our data was that 65% of the borrowers mentioned that no prior formal credit access were there with them. The data analysis, in order to elaborate my data analysis, would like to show certain tables. First one is the hypothesis test result. So the hypothesis test result as for alternative hypothesis, the first hypothesis, which shows the statistics is given as 0.62, which clearly indicates that when we talk about a relationship between the trust and the willingness to continue, there is a strong positive effect between the two. And the standard error, which gives us 0.07, which is really very small and gives a high precise to the study. The p-value is less than 0.001, which is significantly high and actually helps us to reject the null hypothesis. Same goes with hypothesis 2 and hypothesis 3, but would like to more go in depth for hypothesis 4, since we are also doing a logistic regression and a chi-square, wherein the chi-square is given as 28.4, which is significantly associated, which shows that the access to credit is very much associated with the financial inclusion. And the logistic regression, which shows that 2.3 times higher likelihood of financial inclusion can be taken up with the access to credit. Whereas with this, again, the null hypothesis has been rejected since my p-value is always less than 0.001. The last one, the hypothesis which is talking about perceived risk, is given a statistics of negative, which clearly indicates that perceived risk and investment decision does not go hand in hand, since perceived risk have a lot of uncertainty. And the same p-value is less than 0.01, which actually indicates that the null hypothesis will be rejected. When we talk about the reliability and factor loading of SEM variables, so we have checked all the construct for each variable. So the factor loading more or less is somewhere around 0.79 and above. This actually represents the strength and the direction between the variable and the construct. For the Cronbach alpha, which talks about the internal consistency among the items, so it clearly indicates that we can see every Cronbach alpha is coming somewhere around 0.82 and above, which clearly indicates that greater reliability towards the construct. R square, which represents that the dependent variable that is explained by the independent variable. So more or less, this is somewhere ranging at a higher indication, and more variable has been explained. The last one is AVE, that is the average variable extracts. It assesses how well the construct explains its indicators. So the range is again high, greater validity. Only thing is here we can identify for the perceived risk, which is 0.45. Again, the validity is neutral, we can say. It's not that high, but at the same time, we can talk about the perceived risk since it is uncertain. Related to the correlation, we have done correlation for each variable. And again, all the correlation are showing a positive relationship, except perceived risk, which is giving a negative correlation with the rest of the variables, because it is again showing the uncertainty which has been taken up by the borrowers and lenders. And it clearly indicates that how risk is actually impacting them to go for the access of credit, or maybe for the investment decision, or maybe for the ease of use.
8 minutes is up.
Okay. Discussion, P2P platform provides vital COVID support, supporting the undeserved, and hence there was a need for the adoption of risk, perceived risk and trust. Millennials particularly value ease and digital convenience. The finding aligns well with the TAM model, and which actually shown how trust and unreliability increase satisfaction and usage, continuous usage. Findings and conclusion. Key findings here shows that the trust and satisfaction drives P2P platform. Ease of use boosts satisfaction, and financial inclusion significantly impacting the credit accessibility. In order to conclude, my P2P can evolutionize financial intermediaries, but only if platform can manage trust, and risk by offering interface. Recommendation. Um, the platform enhances usability and borrowers verification. So policymakers must adopt strong relationships, regulations, and promote financial literacy. For users, it's essential to weigh flexible benefits of P2P with the association of risk. Managerial implication, managers of the companies should focus on building trust, especially in millennials and MSMEs, which improves the risk management via better credit scoring tools. Limitation. The study is limited in Indian registered users and use cross-sectional data. It did not analyze some mediating factors like direct investment behaviors. Future scope. The future scope highlights that one can actually explore the real world investment decisions because investment decision is part of my variable, but we have not analyzed it. Areas like platform reputation, rural financial inclusion, and role of technology. Yeah, I'm concluding. AI and blockchain can also be part of it. So these are my references. Thank you. I'm open for the questions.
Thank you, ma'am. My question is where you're talking about P2P, that is peer-to-peer is borrower and investor.
Yes, ma'am.
So is there any comparison done between P2P, that is borrower and investor, for the risk assessment for the investment, which you haven't shown? Have you done somewhere?
No, ma'am. Again, no. Because this is part of my limitation. Because the investment decision is something of one of the variables which are not taken up for this study.
Okay. My second and last question is, you haven't justified the coefficients. You have done the SEM model, right? You have applied
Yes,
SEM
ma'am.
model where
Yes.
standard and unstandardized coefficients are not justified, not given in your work. Is it been done?
I've shown the table. That is the table which I got from the SEM model, Smart PLS.
Yeah, because
But it is
somewhere you have used your p-value as in 0.01, somewhere you have used it 0.05. It should be same everywhere to prove whether the hypothesis is proved or not proved.
yes, ma'am. So again, for few variables, it was taken as 0.01, and for few variables, it was taken as 0.05.
So basically you have done
But
extrapolated.
more or less, it is coming as 0.01, below 0.1. So ideally, if I remove 0.05, that is also okay.
This not able to justify.
But AB is also 0.05 is not.
All the paper presenters have shared a wonderful insight on the theme of the conference. After a 10-minute break, request all of you to reconvene here at the same link for the valedictory session. Thank you.
मैम नो क्वेश्चन और बताओ।
नो क्वेश्चन है, नो क्वेश्चंस। हाँ,
बोलिए ना।
ऑब्जेक्टिव दे और क्वेश्चंस दे।
व्हाट्सएप का फोल्डर खुल रहा है, एक बार आप देख लो ना। मैं
Hi everyone, this is Mahek Chudasama once again on behalf of St. Francis Institute of Management and St. Francis Institute of Management and Research PGDM. I extend a warm welcome to all of you to the valedictory session of today's insightful and enriching event. It's a wonderful to see everyone rejoining us for this closing segment where we reflect, recognize and rejoice the spirit of research and learning. And now it's the most awaited moment of the day, the declaration of result. I am sure everyone is eager to know the outcome of their hard work and efforts. Now, I kindly request Associate Professor and IQAC Coordinator Dr. Smita Jaisubdasan to announce the result of Track 1 and Track 2.
Good afternoon, paper presenters and the delegates of the conference, Pathh 2025. I know it's a most awaited moment. So the track 1, the best paper goes to the role of design thinking approach on sustainable transport. The authors are Dr. Kitida Vora and Ms. Aarti Vyas. Moving on to track 2, the best paper goes to Instagram influencers and their impact on fashion consumption. The authors are Ms. Meghna Agarwal, Arika Singh, and Tushar. Congratulations to both the paper presenters, track 1 and track 2.
Thank you, ma'am, for doing the honors. A big congratulations to both our winners and to those who may not have won today. Remember, your participation and dedication are equally commendable. Each one of you have made this event a great success. Kindly fill the feedback form provided in the chat section. To formally express a gratitude, I now take this opportunity to invite Dr. Sulba Rao Rane, Director, St. Francis Institute of Management and Research, PGDM, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dr. Sulba Rao Rane, Director, St. Francis Institute of Management and Research, PGDM, esteemed standalone institute approved by the AICT and DT. It is both an honor and privilege to deliver vote of thanks for today's prestigious Pathh 2025 International Research Conference in association with University of Mumbai. On behalf of the organizing committee, I extend our heartfelt gratitude to each one of you for joining us virtually today on this day, Saturday, June 28, 2025, and for contributing to the success of this international research conference. We sincerely thankful to our chief guest, Dr. Ramakrishna, who is a program chair and professor from Skyline University College, UAE, for his inspiring keynote address. Sir, your clear and thought provoking views on how management institutions can play a key role in building resilience and leading transformation in today's changing business world truly set a strong tone for the day. We are equally grateful to our guest of honor, Dr. Sanmugam, who is a professor from Segi University and Colleges, Malaysia, for sharing his invaluable insight on technology-enabled transformation in business. Your words added great depth to our conference theme. A special thank you to Dr. Shalini Sinha, who is the Director, SFIMAR MMS, for her excellent introduction of the conference theme, which laid a strong foundation for the sessions that followed. We are deeply thankful to our respected chairman, Brother Alphonse Nesimani, for his unwavering support and gracing welcome address. Sir, your constant encouragement continues to inspire and motivate us. Our heartfelt appreciation goes out to the track chairperson, Dr. Sriram from BIM Trichy, Dr. Kinnari Thakkar from University of Mumbai, Dr. Monali Sharma from FIMAR PGDM, Dr. Natika Poddar from FIMAR MMS. Your guidance and expertise ensure seamless flow of the parallel session tracks. We also extend our sincere thanks to all the paper presenters and participants from around the globe. Your engaging presentations, case studies, and research findings enrich this virtual platform and brought our themes to life. To our management, directors, deputy directors, Dr. G. Ramesh, faculty members, and technical support teams, thank you for your tireless efforts and support in making this event a smooth success. A special mention goes to our conference organizing committee, Dr. V. Thangavel, Dr. Sandeep Kurtarkar, Dr. Meenal Parekh, Professor Sujata Salvi, and all the other dedicated committee members for their behind the scene commitment and meticulous planning. Lastly, a big thank you to you all attendees to our enthusiastic participation, insightful interaction, and support throughout the day. Your engagement is what makes the path an enriching and memorable experience each year. Last but not least, it is for us, everybody, to carry forward today's learning and continue to adopt, transform, and lead with resilience in our dynamic business environment. Thank you once again. We look forward to welcoming you all in person at Pathh 2026. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your encouraging words and for acknowledging everyone who contributed to the success of this event. I request all the participants to switch on your camera for the group photograph.
What? Like honey? कटावा ये पकड़ लेना खत्म हो गया नहीं बस
We come to the end of today's ceremony. I request everyone to please rise for the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Thank you everyone for being a part of this wonderful journey. We hope to see you soon again with even more enthusiasm, innovation, ideas. Until, stay curious and stay inspired. Thank you. I kindly request everyone who is offline present can move forward for a group photograph.